Welcome to D&D with the Natural 21s. I am Jenny Bear. This is my channel. And DMing today is Vogie. I don't know what I'm saying.
Hello.
I'm hyped up on sugar right now.
Hopped up on sugar and covered with cheese. All right. Since we have a tendency to get started late, we'll go ahead and introduce all of our characters. I'll do a brief recap and then we'll jump right in while everybody else finishes their Necco wafers. So go ahead and introduce yourself.
So I'm Randy, the Grave Cleric. I'm a Fearbolg and a bit of a youth pastor. I pass out the Necco wafers and everyone loves them.
I'm Osrich, a halfling arcane trickster rogue and pirate who does not love the Necco wafers.
I'm Calatrix, a zealot barbarian who briefly died last session. I'm indifferent about the Necco wafers. I've accepted them.
I am Hazel, a halfling divination wizard who has a seething hatred for the Necco wafers.
And I'm Shmendrick, the magician, last of the Red Hot Swamis. You wouldn't have heard of me.
We've all heard of you.
Shut up.
We know who you are.
Yep. I don't remember what I was going to say. Oh,
Necco wafers.
Necco wafers. I don't really like them, but I have grown to accept them.
Best to just let it happen.
Also unrelated, Schmendrick is a evoker, wild magic wizard. There we go. Evocation wild magic wizard.
Mm-hmm.
Sorkazard. I choose you. Anyway.
That's Pokemon.
Yes. Yeah. It has it right there in the name. Anyway, last time this intrepid party got together, they had been investigating a very large clump of knocked down trees, and were in the pursuit of something that they had been excited about for a very long time, which was a gargantuan hamster.
We got to scritch him.
So many
many
scritches
scritches.
were had.
So many scritches. You also met the owner of the hamster,
Yes.
Goggles. You what?
I said, I guess we met the owner. What we really did was scritch the hamster.
That's
Ellen
fair.
was cool. I liked Ellen. She was nice.
They found Ellen, who was evidently a ranger who had been trapped inside the Shimmer as a young girl, and with her hamster, who was regular size when they came in, but just through the magics of it, and has both aged her very rapidly or slowly, depending on how you look at it, and also made her hamster about the size of a large hill, to the point where when the party first encountered the hamster, it was on a boat as the sun was rising, and they were certain that it was a hill until the sun hit it and showed that it was quite white, brown, and fluffy.
So fluffy.
So fluffy. After that, there was a brief vibration that only a handful of individuals picked up. The ranger, Ellen, called her bird to magically shrink the hamster down to a normal size, and then leapt on its back and took off as what would best be described as a grave dirt elemental came and attacked the party, alongside one of their previously faced foes, a very, very, very angry flame skull, who likes setting things on fire.
And the love of my life, Steve, the pirate.
The pirate, yes. Between the two of them, they actually did knock out Bellatrix, even while she was in Jaeger mode, and but eventually did take on crash everything and knock out the elemental. And so the party, at this moment, is waking up. Well, they've been awake, but they're recovering from their short rest. As they do so, Randy had created some holy water to sprinkle over the pieces of the smashed flame skull, only to hear it curse at them in infernal one last time. And as everyone was gathering up, Randy also found, as they were getting ready to head back down towards Krasmir, he notices something shiny within the the muck bodies and tombstones of the fallen grave dirt elemental.
Oh, hey, what's this?
You go rummaging through and you pull out another coin, but this time it has Steve's face on it.
Steve.
Callie, you want this?
Of course, you don't actually know what
Yeah.
Steve looks like. You just
Oh.
it just has a
He does,
face.
No, I never met
No,
Steve.
he never met Steve.
but Spendrick's been putting tattoos on me every day.
Oh, that's right.
Today's in the orcish traditional style.
Hey, Callie, that kind of looks like the guy in your arm.
Woo, Steve!
Yeah, he's on this coin here.
Can I have it?
Sure. Got the coin.
What could go wrong?
I could make a list or we could roll with it.
You take Steve's place.
Yeah,
I've put it among my possessions.
She might be okay with
what
that.
seemed to be a gold filigreed coin that is mostly made of iron, and yes, on one face of it, you do in fact see the face of Steve, which for viewers looks exactly what you would think Steve the pirate looks like. Just Google it. All right, and so you all are packing up and cleaning up your Neko hit points, Neko ration, and heading back down to Krasmir?
Yes.
Or are you going to do anything in the meantime?
I think we have no choice, right?
Krasmir.
I mean, we always have a choice.
You always have a choice.
We always have a
You've
choice,
showed
but-
me so many times.
To the moon!
Go back and pet those pigs.
We made friends with them.
Invisible scritches.
Let's see if we can find some giant cyclopses and befriend them.
So
Spend
what
an hour
is
doing
to the
that.
northwest?
We already did that. Huh?
I said, so what is to the northwest? Should we investigate?
To the northwest? You're in the northeast. So you want to go to the other side of the continent, or you just want to keep going north?
I was going to say, Ostrich, it is very out of character for you to not ask Ellen to draw us a map of the area.
I have a map of the area.
He's been.
She's been here longer. Like to get a more detailed.
But I already have a map of the area.
That's fair.
Is our oven still on?
Possibly. Let me go look into that.
I'm pretty sure a different map of the area would not help.
Okay, but to answer your question, if you go northeast from where you are, you'd probably run back into the lighthouse, or excuse me, northwest of where you are. You'd start hitting the beach, you'd run across the lighthouse and your boat. If you were going to go west from where you
If
are.
our boat's still there.
If your boat's still there. Dun dun dun.
Well, it was there when we took the last long rest.
If it's not, we'll have to go back to that pirate cove and steal their other ship.
Mm-hmm.
We sank it.
Okay, we'll see if they got a new one.
Fair enough.
I mean, we know what area to go into to steal it. It'll be much easier than this time.
Yeah. Okay. All right. To Krasmir, right?
Vogie, the ship was there the last time we took a long rest, right?
The last time you took a long rest, you were in the barn.
Oh yeah, the last
Oh,
time we took a long rest, I did not mention sending Sir Didymus back to pay the people on the ship. I kind of need to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, you did? Or you didn't?
I did not
I can't
mention it
remember.
last time. I mentioned all the previous times.
Oh, you did?
Well, it's because we ended so
Okay.
quick last
Yeah,
time.
we ended it very quickly that time.
Okay, yeah, well, yeah, Sorcha says that you did, so I believe that you did. So as far as you know, Didymus did come back and reported that the ship was still there. They were kind of annoyed that you've been gone for so long, but then again, everything on the shore looks terrifying, so they're not going to come help.
And say, next time we'll just send them like fragments of a flaming skull head, and they'll understand what's going on.
Oh, so you want me to bring these along?
Probably not.
We ended very quickly before that long rest. Before the long rest, I've been making a mention of sending Sir Didymus with the gold to pay them for the day
Oh, okay.
at each long rest. But we ended very quickly on the barn fight because it was like 1 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair. Right. Cool. And all right. And so everyone starts to head south.
To the south.
To the south, back towards Krasmir. At first, you're following, of course, the trail of munchies that Goggles made for you. And as you get farther and farther south, you start noticing some of the things that Ellen had pointed out. How the color starts to fade. Just like first, you see less and less flowers. You start hearing normal insects and birds that just are the normal ambiance of the area just starts to fade, and everything just kind of becomes more and more monochrome as you go through. And for a while, you notice that the only real thing that has any color other than the group of you is water. Whenever you see a pond or a lake, maybe a river, creek or whatever, usually that's still blue, but whenever it would break or something where you would usually see a flash of white, that had been kind of turned to gray, or it wouldn't be flaring up. You don't see the sunlight reflecting off the water as much. And
I'm gonna scoop up some of the water and pour it on a plant.
the plant still looks healthy and alive. It's just gray. It's just
On the-
monochrome.
The water doesn't like bring back the color at all or anything, or no?
No.
Okay.
And so you find yourself.
Do you still have a little of that
Following
holy
a-
water?
Yeah.
You could put like a drop on the plant and see if it does anything.
Maybe just like a petal or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if it would or not, but
Sprinkle a little holy water on a gray plant.
Okay. Nothing seems to change. It doesn't seem to have any extra effects by just because it's holy water.
okay.
But just naturally, because you're used to seeing things in a sense that's more. Oh, good. Everything's on the wrong layer. Hold on. No one has ever done that before. Never, not once.
Ever.
Done what?
Put everything on
Exactly.
the wrong layer.
Or pinged. Look over here. Oh wait, I'm on the wrong layer.
No one has ever done that ever.
Never.
Ever.
No one has ever done that in the history of Dota.
In this for Dota? What?
Yes, that is exactly what he said.
Okay, I was just making sure because it made no sense, and I wanted to make sure.
Famous
we were all-
esports cast to the moment.
I know what Dota is.
I know what
somebody,
Dota is. I just
somebody shouted that during a very famous Dota match,
Oh, okay.
which is why that pops into my head now when people continue to say nobody has ever done that. Because the dude said, like, no one has ever done that. No one has ever done that in the history of Dota.
The very, very long storied history of a sport that's been that wasn't a sport, except for the
In
past
like 3 years.
in 3 years. I mean, the game's been around. I remember playing it in high school, but
Yeah, the Warcraft 3 mod.
anyway, and as you can see, you're in a, as you would be able to see if I move your player token.
Right now I see nothing but
As you
grass.
can see, we can't.
Oh,
All right.
things are changing.
As you can see,
There's darkness.
you are coming across. Yes,
There we
hold on. You are coming across. You can kind of see everything's in grayscale, and then you see in the
rainbow.
distance
Oops.
something almost like another shimmer. But the thing, I think, Osrich, you have the highest passive perception. Between you and Didymus, you notice a spider, a giant spider, right about, still in the wrong layer, right about there, just kind of pawing into this, this rainbow-colored force field. It's almost like a bubble within the bubble, but while the shimmer itself was a bubble of mostly greens and purples and blues, this is very much a rainbow gate, and you can kind of see it over these mountains. You can kind of see it jut up over it, like there's something going on. Like there's something like almost like a shimmer within the shimmer, or a bubble within the bubble.
Is it like a bridge?
No, it's not a rainbow bridge.
There's very much a stereotypical witch on the other side of this thing. While the color is.
But yeah, you see a giant spider that's just kind of skittering, trying to get through, and just keeping going with no apparent reason. Almost like you would see when a fly is trying to get out a window. How about now? I'll try now. I'll try now.
Can't we, excuse me, can't we talk to spiders?
No, we talked to the Spider Queen.
Yeah, but didn't she say that the coin would let us do, or whatever, what was it she gave us?
She gave me a spider. I think it's an amulet.
I think it lets us interact with spiders another way.
Spider
remember.
Queen amulet. I did not write what it does.
You can summon it. You basically could summon a spider to fight with you for a minute, and you could use it as like an animal messenger.
Yeah, use the animal messenger part.
We got no response because Shimmer probably.
Could you have it talk to the spider?
Yeah, could it message the spider?
Like if you can talk to the amulet spider, perhaps you could have the amulet spider be an interpreter.
Sure, I will send amulet spider to talk to regular spider, giant spider.
Well, actually, when Smedrick, you actually get into a position where you can see the spider, you actually recognize it as the first spider you sent.
Oh, it's just big now?
Yeah, it was already a giant spider, but it's a giant spider.
I thought it was a little spider.
No. If it was a little spider, that's why it hasn't gotten back to you, because it's going to be moving, 10 feet a day.
Okay.
But no, it was a giant spider, which is medium size.
Well then, I am going to go talk to it.
I'll go with her, or him.
And...
Okay.
Hello there, friend. I see why you haven't been able to escape. Or why you haven't come back with me with a follow-up message.
It's just still trying to paw away at the thing.
You can stop.
As you are, as they are having that conversation. Are you staying back here? Are you moving up? Are you inspecting? What are the rest of you doing?
Just kind of standing and looking around.
Okay.
Can I well, that won't really tell me anything, will it?
Osrich, Hazel, what are you guys doing?
While you're talking to the spider, I'm going to move up to the wall and do an Arcana check. I doubt I'll learn anything new, but 25.
Okay. You actually recognize this as a kind of a beefed up abjuration spell, but it's not meant. But it is made to allow certain things through, and certain things not. You can kind of tell it's like a gating type of spell.
Okay.
Osrich, what are you doing?
I'm checking out the water, I guess.
All right, both Randy and Osrich, go ahead and make perception checks.
22.
21.
Okay, well, there's nothing hiding from you guys. All right,
I could hide from us.
the only people who can hide from me is me. As you're inspecting the river, because reasons, you take a glance and actually see in the reflection of the river a figure hiding right there. And Randy, as you're just kind of scoping the place out, you notice that there are other things just kind of hanging, seeming to be watching you. You notice little eyes.
What does the figure look like?
It looks like some sort of humanoid. This is supposed to be small, but for some reason, it's only snapping to grid because it hates me. All right. So.
Oh, well, okay then.
But yeah, 2 through 5 are all they're all small creatures. Go ahead and make a nature or survival, Randy.
Oh, this will be good.
You're wise. I believe in you.
That's true, yeah. 17 for survival.
All right, you can tell that these seem to be larger than normal bunnies.
Oh God.
There's bunnies.
I'm having
Tell me about
flashbacks
this.
to Ronnie's campaign.
Oh, those bunnies. Oh,
So
those
on a scale of 1 to 10, how cute are they?
Right now you can mostly just see heads and eyes, but I'd
So
say
like
about
9.
7.
I mean, normally bunnies are
Okay.
like a 9. These are probably like a 6 because they're big.
Has
Yeah,
anybody
they're
else
big
here
for
ever
bunnies.
seen Night of the Lepus?
No.
I remember referenced.
Because they tried, it's a horror movie where the villain is giant bunnies. And I want you to know, they're not any less cute.
At least you die
Well,
adorably.
the interesting thing is, bunnies and rabbits are actually not vegetarian. They're omnivores. They only eat meat when they can. I'm sure that's not relevant to us.
It's one of my favorite horror movies because all of the gore eating people scenes are pet rabbits running around dollhouses sprayed with ketchup. It's adorable.
Have you,
Watch this now.
have you seen that one video of a bunny eating raspberries? And he's just got like bright red juice dripping off of his maw.
No, but I want to
It's-
see that now.
It is terrifyingly cute. I will find that for us later.
Epically adorable. All right. So, are you all alerting people of things? Or do you
Yeah.
think it'll just be fine?
I'm having a great conversation with the giant spider.
Is the spider responding at all to Spencer?
It's not.
I'm gonna try to get their attention. Maybe like find a rock or a small stone to toss their way, and like try to get Calatrix, Schmendrick, and Hazel's attention without making too much fuss.
Okay. Schmendrick, Calatrix, and Hazel, what are your passive perceptions?
14.
12.
I think it's like a 13. My perception's a 4 plus in 14.
Okay. Wow. All right, and I know Randy is about as dexterous as a rock. So, yeah,
I'll roll this.
Hazel. No, it's okay. Hazel, as you're inspecting it and you're just kind of piecing it through, you hear amongst the chatter towards the spider beside you, kind of a rock clatter, and you kind of spin around to see what the heck is going on. And you notice that Randy is acting weird, and Osrich is trying to act like he just didn't see something.
Okay. I'll
Which is probably something you've realized by now. Like,
I was sending
he's-
Sir Didymus over to point them in the right direction.
Oh, okay.
I was going to go to Schmendrick and Calatrix and use silent speech towards Randy. What is it?
Big bunnies.
Oh, I guess.
Wonderful.
Can you talk
Bunnies.
through your familiars, or is that only a warlock thing?
That's a warlock thing.
Okay. All right. So, none of them seem to have noticed that you have noticed them. So, what's going to be your plan of action? Are you going to try to converge and discuss it, or are you going to?
I'm going to keep an eye on them and back up slowly
Okay.
to try to get like to the group and discuss with them.
All right.
I'm gonna keep an eye on the bunnies.
Yeah, like I'm got
The
an
bunny's
eye
not
on the
the
bunnies.
humanoid on the ridge. Okay.
Got an eye on the bunnies, but I'm making my way towards the group.
Making my way downtown. Okay, I just rolled to see if Schmendrick actually even noticed. He rolled a 17, so I think he actually
Well,
might
I
see.
mean, Hazel specifically got both of your attentions and signaled for you to be quiet. So
No, but
you
to
would
see if
hopefully
he could even see what you guys were pointing at, basically. 'Cause
okay.
He's pretty dense, so so he does see like at least movement in the bushes, I would say. Like, oh, well, that's funny. What do you want to do about that, Hazel? Should I introduce myself?
Yeah, I'm certain that would fix everything.
Why am I moving?
I'm. You said you were all going to kind of get together.
I'm not
Converse.
moving.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, he
everyone
said
else
he
is
was,
going to get together and converse.
No, Osric
right.
said he was staying there and keeping an eye.
I was
All right.
keeping watch on the things we've seen.
Can I like summon the spider back into the amulet?
You can try. Do an Arcana check.
Okay.
We feel bad for the spider.
I rolled a 15.
You're like, I have no idea how this works. Can you come back in? And then it goes. There you go.
Woo!
You threw it like a Pokeball.
I did it. Did you guys see that? That was really cool.
I'm impressed.
Congratulations, Schmendrick. You did magic.
Yeah. let me
I'm
roll
certain
on
this
my
is
surge.
entirely new for you.
Let me roll on my
Can I-
surge table.
Low.
Wow. Can I roll to see if I can like interpret the bunny's behavior?
Sure. Roll insight.
Cool. That's a
Should do interpretive dance with the rabbits.
Insight on the
Uh,
bunnies.
Schmendrick thing.
13.
Okay. As far as you can tell, they seem to just be hiding. But the way that they're hiding, even though I can't really portray it well on the map, they seem to be hiding both from you and the figure that Osrich has noticed on the ridge.
But I have not noticed Osrich's figure.
Oh, I thought he had communicated that.
He sent his bird over.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, you
And
were
then,
figure on the ridge.
yeah, if we need to, I communicated with Osrich and then with everyone else that there's a guy on the ridge.
Okay.
So now everyone knows.
There's a humanoid hiding on the ridge and not doing as great a job as they think they are.
Are they hiding?
They seem to be. Well, not to Osrich, but to anyone else, they might seem to be.
Who are they
Are they
hiding
moving? Are you certain it's not just a, hidden corpse?
A hidden.
Someone could have just stuck the corpse under a bush and thought, that's probably good.
Are they? Do they appear alive? I think is the real question.
I
Yeah.
mean, when you gotta make a stash,
Well, you got to make a stash in a, bizarre, magically filled area that doesn't have any color anymore. Who's really going to call you out on it?
And I'm an expert on making stashes. What we need is a syrup packet and some cat hair.
I didn't get that reference. All right.
Gabriel Knight 3, one of the worst puzzles in the history of puzzle video games.
Oh, then that would be one. All right.
You have to disguise yourself with somebody by making a fake mustache, and you make the fake mustache by using a piece of tape on a fence and then chasing a cat through the fence hole to get the cat hair off of the tape, to affix the tape to your face with syrup. And the crazy thing is, you don't know you're supposed to make a mustache, you just have to figure that out. And the best part is, the last part of this costume is getting a Sharpie and drawing a mustache onto the passport you're using, because the person you're trying to impersonate does not have a mustache.
okay, yeah, that I was gonna say I've heard of worse puzzles, but no, that takes the cake right there. Like I
You
forget
need
what
to
game.
impersonate a man who does not have a mustache. So what you need is a Sharpie to draw a mustache on his passport, some syrup, and cat hair to make a mustache.
I'm certain the reason you get why the person accepts the picture on the passport is he sees a man with a cat hair mustache with syrup on it. He's like, you know what? I'm not gonna deal with it. Yes, that's
You're
exactly
impersonating
you.
just like a short,
Bye.
balding dude, and you're like this tall, blonde, Aryan motherfucker with cat hair stuck to your lip with syrup.
I don't get paid to deal with this shit. Yes, you are exactly the person on the passport. Bye.
But you hide your hair under a baseball cap that you found
man.
in a box that does
Like-
not belong to the person you are impersonating.
There's one game where you have to like get a key off of a subway track, but to do so, you need like a rubber duck inner tube and a band-aid, a fishing pole, and a pair of like clamps. Essentially, you use the rubber duck inner tube to hold the clamps open, but there's a hole in the rubber duck inner tube. So you blow it up, put the band-aid on to keep the hole closed, use the inner tube to keep the clamps open, get it down over the key. I don't know how, but you get the band-aid off. It deflates, the clamp closes on the key, and then you reel it in with the fishing pole.
That's a fairly close second to the cat
Yeah.
hair mustache.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
that's up
it's
there.
like cat hair mustache kind of tracked until it came to the Sharpie, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's what made it go off there. I was like, okay, yeah, no, that wins now.
My pick for the second worst is from the King's Quest games, where you have to input a character's name, that's what their name is, and it's clearly Rumpelstiltskin.
Mhm.
And that's what they're going for, but Rumpelstiltskin doesn't work, and they give you a note that says to think backwards. And the trick to it is you have to A equals Z, B equals Y, etc. But what makes it
Okay.
amazing is that they misspelled Rumpelstiltskin when they put it into the game.
Oh no.
No.
They
Oh,
transposed the L and the E.
old games were so terrible.
I don't. Oh, so how did people figure out how to solve it then?
It took some time.
Brute force.
Wow.
Probably.
All right.
All the
So
people
what are we
who are
gonna?
really bad at spelling figured it out super fast.
Yeah.
So
Dyslexic
many
people
people
people.
like me.
It's this weird Venn diagram. People who are terrible at spelling but good at cryptographs.
I feel like that's a very consistent Venn diagram in my life.
Oh, so it's Dave, the one person who figured it out.
All right. So what are we gonna do about this guy on the ridge?
I would feel weird just shooting them.
I
You
can
try to
message him.
Talk to them. Yeah, try message. That's a good idea.
Message goes 120 feet, and he's like 65 feet away. I can do that.
I'm close enough to either Sacred Flame or Toll the Dead on him, or even Guiding Bolt.
Randy's
Those
like,
are
we
those
could
are
kill
very
him.
fierce
We could
messages there.
communicate him.
I mean, if he
Let me
turns
throw a flare at his face.
if he turns out to be a dick.
Like,
All right.
Do you want me to shoot arrows at him in Morse code, or?
So I get a visual on this guy, and I message
Okay.
him. Hello, I am Schmendrick, the magician, last of the Red Hot Swamis. You wouldn't have heard of me. What brings you to these parts, friend?
And you can see him pause, like jerk around a little bit, and then glare. And then
And
you
I
just
wave
see
at
his
him.
head like disappear under beyond the ridge.
He doesn't seem
And-
too friendly.
When he basically realizes that you're talking to him, you do get a very full view of his face, unless of course you forgot your glasses. Anyway, yeah, you see him. It's a very bald, elfin looking, with very very white skin. So basically the opposite of the Umbra that you've run into so far, but not in that drow way. But it seems to be something very different. And the garb it is wearing is very, what's the word? Mad Max casual. So what looks like leather, spikes, that sort of thing, and before it vanishes.
So he's a thug.
Did
Got
I
it.
see it?
Sure.
Would I have recognized it from my travels, since we travel a lot as a smuggler and dealt with a lot of different people? Like anything about his appearance?
This is, you can definitely peg it as elvish, but not an elf that you've seen.
He's more of an elvish impersonator.
Uh-huh. No, nothing. All right. No, it's more of a.
Randy unfortunately dies a tragic death.
I send him another message because I just have to know like the general direction he's in. Like,
Just press it.
you need to respond. If you don't respond, then I'll keep messaging you until you do respond. I send another message that says the exact same thing.
Yeah, because it'll take him a hot minute to get the other 60 feet out of the way. All right.
The next message is going to be, "Baby, come back."
Baby, come back.
All right. And what languages do you know?
I know Common and Elvish.
Okay. You actually recognize kind of a guttural, pigeony form of Elvish, variation of cursing under one's breath right before he cuts out of range.
I know that word.
I don't know what he says, but I know that word.
Hey,
And I
Calatrix,
send
he
Sir
said
Didymus
one of
just
the
to
words
look at
you
him and annoy
know.
him.
I know. I purposely know swear words in most languages.
What did you say, Osrich? Sorry.
Can I send Sir Didymus just to follow him and look at him and annoy him?
Yep. Didymus starts flying. What's Didymus's? Go ahead and roll stealth for Didymus.
A 19.
He follows him for a while, and then after a good 5 minutes, 10 minutes or so, it just comes to a copse of trees and kind of leans up against it. It's like rummaging through its gear. You get a good, if you're viewing everything through Didymus's eyes, you just get and it very much, there was a sale at Hot Topic in the 90s type of thing.
And he had a nice mom.
Or something, but it's very pale, very bald, pointy ears.
Which Hot Topic brand are we talking about? Are they in Freak Pants?
Yeah, which
See what
era
goes-
of Hot Topic?
Okay, well, I didn't actually go to Hot Topic more than maybe twice, so
So,
Poser.
Were you allowed in Hot Topic?
well, my mom would never take me there, so there's that. But no, I really wasn't much of a mall rat. So
I went to the mall
library
and I wore
I
my freak
was.
pants.
not a mall rat.
I worked
What?
at the mall.
I said I went to the mall and I wore my freak pants.
All right, well, I genuinely don't know what that means. Anyway, I'm sure if I saw them, I would understand. But when you just say freak pants, I got nothing. All right. And then it starts looking around and trying to see it pull out a dagger and start like rips off a chunk of tree to like carve something into the tree, and it just looks up at this owl, knowing it's not a regular owl due to the monocle and top hat. Throws down and just gives it, a very. You haven't seen the hand signal before, but you can figure out what it means, and then turns itself invisible, and then at that point, Didymus loses it.
Okay.
Why is he so rude to Didymus?
Have Sir Didymus make a perception check based on hearing. It has advantage on those checks.
We want to know every move this guy makes.
Have Sir Didymus land on his invisible head. And his attack will cause him to become visible again.
And then
Have
take
Sir
a
Didymus
massive-
poop on him.
Yeah, take a massive rancid owl shit.
Then you'll see where he
Tiny bits
is.
of rat head on it.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Well,
die.
guys-
Anyway,
What are the bunnies
He
doing? Have they
manages.
mauled us in this time? I feel like they're gonna maul us.
Have we been mauled?
you were not mauled. So far, they haven't seemed to do anything.
Who's
I
good
feel
animal
like-
handling?
I have a +4
Mm-hmm.
to animal handling. Does anyone
I
have?
uploaded something to Discord. To
Oh
help
yeah.
me.
Oh yeah. That's definitely what it is wearing.
Good.
Nice.
That's exactly what I was picturing.
I feel like with his general demeanor and how much he is a dick, I feel like the bunnies are going to be friends.
I mean, who can corrupt a bunny?
So I
Oh.
will guidance myself and do an animal handling to try to
Okay.
to one of the bunnies.
To befriend the bunnies.
Yes. That is a 19.
All right.
To try to befriend number 5.
Number 5. Okay.
Yeah.
You
I'll move
toss
up to
over-
about here.
Toss over the spiritual Neko wafers. No, I'm kidding. And it just kind of looks at you, and it doesn't seem to react very much. You don't have your spiritual Nekos.
Yeah, they're not out right now.
But
They all
but
say-
yeah, but it doesn't seem to respond to your I don't know what is that called, catcalling. But
I offer a Neko wafer.
okay, roll initiative.
I was gonna say, is that a sign of hostility?
It is in my culture.
All right. Oh, that's right. All the kittens stole my dice. I guess we'll have these. Do, 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 do. Do, do, do. All righty. And what did you get?
For what?
Were you serious
Initiative.
about rolling initiative?
Do I ever joke? Have you
Yes!
ever?
All
Yes,
the time.
constantly.
All the fucking time.
First of all, that's fair.
20, not natural.
Second of all, you're under attack by a rabbit.
I don't want to kill a bunny rabbit.
Oh, I mean, if the rabbit's going to attack Randy for trying to poison him, I'm fine with letting the rabbit live.
Yeah.
What'd you get,
It's just
Randy?
okay as Randy dies.
20, not natural.
Okay. Is anyone else going to jump in on the rabbit attacking action?
Very
No.
sad we have to fight the giant bunnies.
All right.
Could just try and run away.
So far, it's only really noticing that one seems to be. You are still in a position, but you can tell with your passive insight that Randy, that the bunny has become hostile, because evidently that's the thing that happens. What are you going to do?
I'll join Randy. I'll help Randy.
Okay.
I rolled a 22.
Okay.
I'll protect you from the bunny.
This guy's a dick now.
I rolled a 4.
I added a
Well,
bunny.
you did threaten it.
Anna needs to protect Randy from the bunny because Randy's the only one who can cure her of all the diseases she keeps catching.
Yes, true. It's accurate.
It's mostly
He's
that.
just plowing into things is just gonna be bad for you.
So, Callie is going to come up here to protect Randy, although she's a bit confused on what the hell's going on.
How
Um,
did, how did you anger a bunny?
Trying
don't
to poison
know.
it.
I'll try to poison it.
I rolled a
Uh,
21 for my initiative.
All right.
Natural 20 plus 1.
I rolled a
ooh, a
10.
natural 21.
Still did
So
better than
natural
me.
21.
Do we have any berries on our persons at all?
I
I
had
do
some
not.
rations. Those probably have vegetables in it.
Yeah, we might need those. Like a,
And would
like
you
an
roll
apple?
Aldrich?
A 10.
But you can say there's some dried apples in there. Rations are not a very precise thing.
Do we have apples? Dried apples?
I have rations. We could use that.
I mean, Dave's rations includes jerky, dried fruit, hardtack, and nuts.
Yeah, so
Okay,
you
dried
probably
fruit.
have nuts and dried fruit. That's
All right, let's try and just chill the bunny out.
Let's
All right,
charm
so-
the rabbit.
you try to tally tricks on your turn. Since you were the first, you run over to Osrich and you try to present nuts and fruit.
To me?
To Osrich?
Yes, you definitely do it to Osrich, not
Yes.
the bunny. You're
Why would you give it to the
definitely doing
bunny?
it to Osrich. Hey, you over here.
Are you trying to make me less
You
hostile
seem-
with nuts and fruit?
You run over to Rand. Anyway, okay, I'm just going to skip the rest of you. Schmendrick, what are you
Calitrick,
doing?
Osrich, your friendship is very weird.
I'm gonna be real. This is a new one to me.
I'm gonna try and make myself seem small, and I'm gonna like very
Good luck.
slowly like lean forward and put some of the dried fruit and a little bit of the nuts out, and then I'm gonna try and get Randy to back up with me.
Okay.
We're just gonna try and chill the bunny out.
Okay.
Is there any
Schmendrick?
cilantro? Do we have cilantro?
Cilantro.
Rabbits love cilantro.
I knew there was
I
a
did
reason
not
I
know.
love bunnies.
right.
I have prestidigitation. I can make it smell like cilantro.
Well, they're going to go before you, so I'm trying to get Schmendrick.
Yeah.
What are you?
What am I going to do?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to send Cat over.
Wait, is
Bunnies
Cat
don't like
leaving
cats.
this protection of the hood for the first time?
Yes, Cat
Alright,
is leaving the
Where is
Venturing out into the world?
Is Cat an actual cat?
Cat is an
Yes,
actual
a cat
cat.
familiar.
she has a
Randy's gonna be like-
Peg leg.
Where did that cat come from?
It's the first time
Schmendrick has a cat familiar that you have never seen because it lives in
Exactly.
Schmendrick's hood.
It has a peg leg.
I'm going to prestidigitate some, or minor illusion, some bunny ears on the cat, and send Cat forward to go try to communicate with the bunny.
Is this going to be
Okay,
performance or perception? Or deception?
Yeah, roll deception.
What is a cat's deception?
I don't know. I can look it up.
Cats are natural
No.
born liars, so they get double advantage.
Let's see. Cat has a charisma of -2.
I regretfully inform you it's a -2 to deception for cat.
Stat block is broken.
That doesn't seem
You know.
accurate. Cats are very cute. They should have a much higher charisma.
I agree.
But sure, we'll go with the -2.
All right.
Seven.
Yes. The cat with now floppy ears does not make a very persistent, not a very convincing bunny, especially
No.
since the minor illusion doesn't move with it. So you just have the cat approaching,
Well,
and then there's just a pair of bunny ears that are floating behind it for no apparent reason.
I can't really see super well as the cat's moving, so it's kind of hard to...
Also, this block is all wrong. That deck should be at least 20. I've seen cats move.
Yeah.
You know, if you give a cat a pair of wings, its charisma goes up to 12.
Okay, and then the bunnies actually get an attack, or they get to move. Starting with number 5, who reaches over, let's see, or zips over. Ooh.
Where did I just go? Oh, there we go. That was weird.
We just had a brownout.
Oh, yeah. Did
Delightful.
your lights flash too?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have
just
it here
did-
too.
What? That's
Oh.
crazy.
Did not happen here.
Okay, well.
Well, the
and
entire-
Bob, how are you? Oh,
Bob
Bob's
is
Always
frozen.
not moving.
Uh-oh.
BRB,
He's
cutting Jonathan's
drinking
power.
a whole lot.
He got really thirsty.
Incredible
Listen,
drinking form.
that's actually great. Caltrix, you should really look at Randy on the proper way to consume beverages. Oh, power surge.
He
Great.
also had the power surge. What the heck?
That would have been interesting.
Everybody.
Why would be everyone but Hazel?
Yeah. Well,
No, that actually makes perfect sense because Hazel's using a mobile device. Okay.
yeah.
Yep.
Also, Hazel's in a different city.
Yeah.
You're in a different city. Where'd you go?
Yeah.
I
Slightly
mean,
different.
to me, you're always just in a blank void
It's
with the table in front of you. So.
Just south.
Oh. Oh.
What do the
So
bunnies-
you're treated-
One second, Hazel. I'm going to write your address on a piece of paper and hold it up to the camera.
Oh, okay.
Everyone will know.
Yes, that's
Just
clearly
go to
what
the-
I wanted.
Just go to the stream and type it in the comments.
Good idea. Good idea.
That way, there's no problem.
I will also follow it up with the key code to get into your garage.
Okay.
That's
That
very
way my
important.
fans can visit me in my sleep.
Yay!
Okay.
Everybody's your fan.
Everyone. All right.
All right.
Anyway,
Alright, so
well,
I left off right as Bunny zips over to me.
yeah. So
That's where
the
we
bunny
stopped.
zips over, scoops up the fruit and nuts
Randy, name change.
in one hand, and then goes to stab you with a short sword in its other hand.
Wait, a short sword?
Yeah. Oh, like I said, these are small creatures, much to Roll20's
This man.
discouragement.
Wait,
For the record, Randy,
Mhm.
everybody except for Hazel had the power surge.
Okay.
You're the only one who got knocked out by it.
Hazel is the power surge.
Also, that evidently.
BRB, I'm definitely typing your address in the comments now.
I would deserve it.
All right, but an 8 does not hit, and then it sprints over and will leap across the river. However, either you or Calatrix, if you have a weapon in hand, you can make an attack of opportunity against the rabbit with a knife.
it's a bunny with a knife.
It's
Did Randy
a-
get stabbed?
He was attempted, but it rolled an 8.
Yeah, I'll use it. No one's close to dying, so I'll use a reaction.
That is discerning.
Oh, you rolled an 8, I think he said.
But just an oversized bunny running up to you and then pulling out a knife. That's kind of...
Yeah. 19?
Oh yeah, that'll hit.
Okay. and 5 damage, and I'll say, Necco wafers are delicious, you ingrateful little bastard.
You ingrateful?
Yeah. And it just now a very bloody bunny you see jump soaring over the thing that has been very hit and is not looking great. The other ones, that's the wrong button. There we go. You see other bunnies pop out of their hiding spots and start shooting arrows on little bitty bunny bows. Itty bitty bunny bows. One of them will be going towards Hazel.
Who's shooting at Hazel?
Oh no.
Oh noes.
All right. Once it gets around to my turn, I'm going to use prestidigitation on Randy and make him smell like cilantro.
Cilantro.
If you
All
want
right,
to see a
does a
bunny
16
flipping
hit?
shit while eating, give it a cilantro stem or a small piece of banana.
Hazel, does a 16 hit you?
It does.
All right, you take 6 piercing damage as you are hit by the most adorable of possible arrows from number 3. Numbers 2 and 4. 4 shoots at Randy again. Wow, with a 24 to hit. So you will take 6 piercing damage as well. And the other one is towards Osrich with a 6. So that one goes way wide. Actually, he rolled in that one. So I'll actually say that he did hit you, but he grabbed a carrot instead of a arrow. So it didn't do it. All right, Hazel, now it's your turn.
Also of note, do not feed your rabbit just carrots. They will die.
I actually know that because I had bunnies and I worked in a pet store.
Also,
My
if your
turn?
children or you watch Wonder Pets,
Don't ever
do
feed
not
them
give
celery.
them celery. Do not give actual animal celery. They will die. Also, unrelated, Hazel, your turn.
Horribly.
It's my turn?
Yes.
I only rolled a 4. I thought Osrich still had to go.
Huh? No, he had a 10. So he
Yeah,
went.
the 4.
Is 10 before 4 or after 4?
Depends
I
on
thought
what
you said
base
you
you're
went.
in.
That's also a good point. But you said that you weren't going to do anything, or I don't know.
I just got shot at.
Yeah. Also, unrelated, before you got shot at, what did you do?
Oh. Because honestly, before the rabbits pulled out weapons and started attacking, I wouldn't have done anything.
Yeah, that's what I thought when I said it was your turn and you said I wasn't going to do anything because they're just mad rabbits.
Okay.
Did you want to hold an action in case the mad rabbits got more madder?
I'm going to go ahead and throw out that I would not have said, I will attack if the rabbits pull out weapons and start firing. I would not have set that as the condition for my action, so.
Alright,
This
I'll
was
move forward.
slightly
Completely
unfortunate.
Okay, and
okay,
now
fair
it's
enough.
Hazel's turn.
Well, this one just shot me, so I'm going to shoot him back.
Okay.
I'm going to firebolt that little bastard. But I will
Well,
also
bastard.
miss with a 12.
Yep, that will definitely miss.
I thought there was a chance the rabbits might have big, sharp, pointy teeth and go on the offensive, but swords and bows, not
Not what
what
you were
I would have
expecting.
predicted.
All right,
That's
top of the
my
round, Calatrix.
So I'm gonna take out.
You hit them with
I'm
the
gonna take
ball,
out
they will
the
probably
spear.
explode.
Ooh, yeah. I'll hit him with the maul, the crystalline maul.
All right.
Because why the hell not? Do I rage for this? I don't really want to hurt bunnies.
You do know that when the only thing that you know about them, other than the fact that they're largely adorable and also packing, is when Randy hit one with a glancing blow for 5 and became quite bloody.
Okay, so maybe I won't attack, or maybe I won't rage. I will.
Maybe you won't rage and hit them with your giant crystalline maul.
I will hit them with my giant crystalline ball, though. I will do that. I will attack. Which one can I get to? I have 40 feet of movement.
You might have to
can
jump
I-
over some water.
jump?
You'd have to, yeah, you'll have to make a jump, but
Can I jump the water? What do I do to jump the water?
let's do a next check. But remember, you're exhausted, so you'll be doing this at disadvantage.
All right.
You've seen the animated spellbook about just this thing. So here you go. Moment of truth.
How do I do KL, keep low?
Yes. Oh, if you're doing it in roll 20, it's yeah.
I rolled a 5.
Ooh.
Yes. All right. So Calatrix is just like,
Gurgle,
I'm
gurgle.
gonna smash some bunny face. So she very wisely grabs the largest, heaviest weapon that she can.
Wait.
Jumps in the general direction of the river.
Why wouldn't I just walk through the river? I don't have to breathe.
I think you skipped me.
Hmm? No, she's,
I have-
uh,
I
No,
have
no.
22.
In the first round, bunnies attacked me, or Bunny ran off and I stabbed him, and then that was the only
Randy
thing
has
I
not
did.
had a turn, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Randy hasn't had a
no,
turn.
no, you, yeah, there was.
I tried to feed the
Calatrix
bunny.
moved,
Mm-hmm.
Calatrix moved, Schmendrick moved. You didn't do anything because you were still trying to offer him
No,
wafers.
no, because bunnies went before me. I got my reaction, and then
Oh,
I
you're
didn't
right.
get a turn.
What's your initiative?
Could have sworn
20.
you got a turn.
Mine was a 22. You should have gone right after me.
Yeah.
No, it was-
you were a 22. Schmendrick got a 21, and he got a 20. So I thought you had gone.
No,
Well, let him go.
because you went from Schmendrick to the bunnies.
Well, yeah, but you got attacked by a bunny after your turn.
Yeah,
I
you
didn't
got
get a
attacked
turn
by-
though.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Well,
didn't-
what
I
would
didn't
you
get
have
a
done
Uh,
before the bunny attacked you? These are the strangest sentences that I have.
Welcome to Dungeons and Dragons.
Let's just say a sacred flame. So DC 15 Dex save for number
Okay.
5.
I like the way this is working out now. At this point, what we had is Calatrix ran up with dried fruit to try to placate the bunny, and you're like, nope!
If you don't like Necco wafers, you also don't like life.
I saw the
Um,
sword.
I don't know that you
All
do.
right.
I don't think so.
And that is a dexterity save. What's your DC?
15.
Ooh, it rolled a 22. So it
Okay.
is, you have roasted the bush, but not the bun bun.
Well, it's sacred
All
flame,
right.
it doesn't roast.
It's,
Illuminates.
consecrates? I don't know. I got nothing. Anyway, so
Illumination.
Calatrix just decide to jump in the water.
Even though I could have walked.
You could have walked, but that's not dramatic.
But is that really Calatrix?
Yeah, that
I
doesn't.
have walked through water several times.
How deep is
And
the water?
then it's about 10 feet. And so she just kind of sinks.
Does that eat all my
Yeah.
movement?
Not all of your movement, but you are. Go ahead and make a strength and athletics check with disadvantage,
Had to climb out.
or to see what happens when you hit with the current.
I rolled an 8.
All right.
I should have raged.
Yep. Yeah. You're now moved down. You're moved slightly downriver, and you're out of movement.
And you're right, I have seen anime spellbook about exactly this.
Don't worry, there is no waterfall here that you know. Anyway, next up is Schmendrick.
The magician. All right, so Schmendrick. Yeah, Schmendrick's gonna move here. Say, wait! This is all a misunderstanding. Bunnies, stop firing! As he pulls out his pipes of haunting.
Because what else could he do?
Well, he's first listening to see if the bunnies respond.
Wait, where
The
did
bunnies
Slender
do
go?
not use their reaction to respond.
Okay, pipes of haunting it is.
Okay.
You have nothing to fear until now.
Schminder, I'm there. You can't just take my space.
Huh?
You vanished. And I'm like, is Schminder underneath me? Because you can't just take my space. You can't just have it.
So I need them
It's
each
mine now.
to make a wisdom saving throw.
Ostrich,
You need to be
you just have to
within-
realize Schminder's
mean,
body
you
checked
could-
you into the water.
Yeah, you can try to body check Osrich. I mean, you both probably have wonderful strength to work with, so that'll be great.
Eh.
We're in different spots.
Yeah, so yeah, he was right here where you moved yourself.
Yeah.
So, I mean, do you want to pipe haunt from any other location? Or
I
do you
can
want
do it from here.
to
That's
try to shove
fine.
him in the river? It's okay.
I didn't know he was there for some reason. He looked on my screen. It looked like he wasn't there, but
Uh-huh.
it's fine.
I would rather not be shoved into the water. I will defend myself.
No, I shoved him in the water. Well, I'd have to take an action to shove you in the water. We're not doing that. My action is playing these good old pipes.
I
So
believe that would be a bonus action shenanigan. But anyway, yeah, go ahead. And what's the pipes that is a...
a wisdom saving throw.
All right.
Hazel, are you still
Wisdom.
hostile toward me?
Like what?
That's for you to decide. Do you trust me? Should you?
No.
Well, it says, if you wish, all creatures in the area that aren't hostile toward you automatically
Oh.
succeed. Are you still hostile toward Schmendrick?
I'm distracted right now, so no.
Okay, you don't have to make a roll.
I was like, do I have to make a roll to this?
Only if you're hostile to Schmendrick.
The
Try to
only
push
thing I've
me
been
into the
thinking
water.
about is that Shimmer water and then the giant bunny, so I'm not
All
currently thinking
right.
about
What's the
Schmendrick.
DC for the pipes?
15.
All right. The two of them that are closest fail, and the 3 and 4 pass. And so these two are now frightened of you. Do they take any damage with that, or they're just heard?
No, they're, sorry. Yeah, they're just frightened of me for a minute.
Okay.
But they can repeat their saving throw at the end of each of their turns, ending the effect. And then they're immune.
Okay. I really need to get more of these icons that make more sense. I think I use rage and frightened for the same thing.
While I was
Which
doing
is-
that, Cat climbed back up into my hood.
I believe it. All right.
Back in hiding.
Hi, kitty.
Bye, kitty.
Look of hiding. All right. And next up is we're going to skip Randy. No, just kidding. Randy.
Since the Sacred Flame didn't work, I'll go ahead and Toll the Dead on the little bastard that I stabbed earlier. So
Okay.
DC 15 Wisdom save.
All right. Ooh,
Hi,
he
Bee.
got a 14. So,
Oh, he takes 2d12 necrotic damage. He takes 17 necrotic damage.
all right. So
17. Overkill much?
Randy just steps over to. You all see Randy just step to the side, so he has full view of the running rabbit. Randy and the running rabbit. Brought to you by Scholastic Kids on shelves everywhere, September 22nd. Anyway,
It got dark.
and you clang your pitchfork against your.
Cowbell.
More cowbell.
That would be amazing if he had a cowbell. But no, he clings his pitchfork against his shield, and it creates that dolorous sound, and you just see the bunny drop dead.
Aw, poor bunny.
I'm not happy about this.
This feels wrong.
Wait, did I say 17? Sorry, that was 20 necrotic damage.
As if it's
It's
not
okay.
dead enough.
Now it's better.
Okay,
It's
what's
extra
the
dead.
extra dead? What's the extra dead indicator on roll 20?
Did it just explode in blood?
More deaderist?
It just vibrated into a pile of mush.
Like a water balloon full of blood.
Ooh. All right, Osrich,
Aren't we all?
you're up. Because
We really are.
Randy's turn got really dark, so it's your turn now.
I have a
Still not as-
sneaking feeling that mine is also going to be dark.
Still not as dark as decapitating the kid in kobolds.
Oh.
Yes.
I'm going to aim
That
and
was
shoot
fun.
at bunny number 3.
And number 3, all right.
I rolled a 25.
Okay, yep, that unsurprisingly hits.
I deal 20 damage to the rabbit.
All right. That rabbit is not only dead, it's also pinned against this wall. Okay, are you doing anything else? Well, I guess that was both actions, and you have no movement.
And I'm going to look sad as a free action.
Like, I need to go home and rethink my life.
It didn't have to
Alright.
be this way.
Let's see. Now it's time for the bunnies to move. And move they will. Alright, one of them, that one can't get close to Schmendrick. Number 4 is going to dash right through the rainbow wall that you all had encountered earlier. And number 2 will also attempt to do it, but has to do it in a roundabout way. So let's see what we've got for.
I can just go
I
straight
just want to point out,
forward.
number 2 is in my oh no, because I have them all out. Darn it! Ah!
Also, you're 10 feet underwater.
I am 10 feet underwater. Doesn't matter.
Yep, she is cursing with her scythe or maul in the air, except for it's not in the air, it's in the water.
That'd be a cool visual if you could, though. Just, all right, I'm gonna run away, and then just from under the water, a spear comes and just stabs it, and it just drops.
Yeah.
So, DM, we just got a question in chat. Does this campaign have a lot of cute animals placed in peril?
Yes.
Yeah,
In a certain way, in certain means, yes. And also, no.
Tell us about the invisible
see.
pigs that we didn't fight.
Yeah, yeah.
Why would we have fought them? They didn't randomly attack us with swords.
Yeah, well,
That's
he didn't try
true.
to poison them with Necco wafers. Anyway, 2 tries to go a roundabout route, but is able to dash through the rainbow wall as well. And initiative is 12.
We won!
Did we?
Follow-up question. Could the DM
Yes.
be more vague?
Yes.
Or no.
Or no, who
Maybe.
knows?
The only possible answer to that question is
All right, but yeah, now you can see that the animals, the rabbits can get through that rainbow wall, but not the spider.
I'm gonna go investigate.
I'm gonna
the
go
rainbow
poke the
wall.
rainbow wall.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Calatrix, can you get one of the bunny carcasses, preferably one pinned against the wall, and see
Did we
if
help
that will go
Calatrix get out of the
through?
river, or are we just gonna say goodbye?
Walk out.
So,
I
I will go down here and silent
annoyed.
speech Calatrix while she's underwater. And telling her what to do while she's stuck there.
I'm gonna be real. Like I could throw her a rope, but I'm not exactly the strongest.
That's when it comes to versus Calatrix, no one in the group is essentially the strongest.
I mean, I have negatives to my strength, so
Like
that
I don't
would
need to be
be
stronger
nice.
than Calatrix, but I do need to be stronger than Calatrix and all of the weapons she's carrying.
And I have a +2.
All right,
See, Randy
Calatrix
can
is
help.
able to get out of the water, very muddled and not particularly happy,
And on the wrong side of the river.
and on the wrong side of the river.
Now,
But
she
she, of
needs to
course,
get the
didn't
bunny
know that it was over.
carcasses.
I mean, you can definitely try to persuade her to get bunny carcasses.
Calatrix, if the bunnies can go through, dead or alive, we may be able to get through.
So.
Which
what
one
do
of
you
us
want
is
hats.
to do?
If the rabbits can get through, dead or alive, because we have 2 rabbit carcasses.
Tiny
Depending
Depending
rabbit
on how
carcasses.
this works, they're medium.
No, they're small.
Oh, small. Well, 2 of us can get through then.
That's
Great.
fair.
We can make some hats.
Oh,
I'm gonna
Or
send Sir
just-
Didymus to the Rainbow Wall. Can he go through?
He does.
Cool. I'm gonna walk through the Rainbow Wall.
All right, and so when you walk through the rainbow wall,
No, we need costumes made out of these bunnies.
Like this is
Get
about
back
to
over
get
here.
this is about to get really dark, and I'm just gonna walk through and not be a part of this.
oh,
Howard.
Well, yeah, like Schmendrick and Randy were gonna poke the wall.
Yeah, we were poking the wall.
All right, yeah, and on the other side, you see inside
It's
the
Super
area,
Mario
it is
World?
completely.
Color.
You see everything is kind of oversaturated with color in contrast to the area where you are, and basically anything. All of you have no particular problems passing through the rainbow wall.
If I
Can-
turn around and go back the other way, what happens?
You don't noticing anything different. Calatrix and Randy, you do encounter the tiniest amount of resistance when you go through.
Why couldn't the spider get through then?
You don't know.
So I can go through the wall either way.
Yes.
What about
Have any-
Can Schmendrick go through either way?
Yeah.
Can Schmendrick's mage armor go through?
Oh, did you cast your mage armor today?
Yeah,
I forgot to put it
Yeah,
on.
it was at the last fight.
it was.
It was? All right. Well, let me find the mage armor token. Get you a better mage armor token.
I'm assuming it can pass through then.
This is exciting.
No, it can't.
It can't?
It can't.
Oh.
Wait, what couldn't pass through?
My
The
mage,
mage
armor.
armor.
The animated mage armor.
It just kind of follows her around places.
Maybe.
But all of your familiars and your parrot, Callie, all that can pass through without an issue. But not the mage armor and not the spider.
I tap Callie and say, "Do your crow thing."
My crow thing? Okay. I
You have to take damage to use that, don't you?
Oh, I do as a reaction, yeah.
Do you want me to kick you?
Sure.
I
mean,
thought you
I-
could only
I
do
don't-
that once per day. Is it once per fight?
No, it's
No, there's no
reaction.
restriction.
I'm a terrible DM. Anyway.
Oh, I think we had verbally discussed that it needed to not be infinite.
Yeah.
I disagreed.
Of course
we
you
know.
do.
Her counterpoint was releasing a bunch of crows into the house.
Attacking you with birds.
Well, that explains why that we have so much chicken I need to cook.
What are you doing?
So you have a choice now. Infinite real crows or infinite in-game crows? One of the two.
It's like
Why
you
not
guys
both?
live with us.
You have no idea how accurate you are. Anyway.
We have some idea. We've listened to you two talk.
I mean, I don't
Alright,
think
so-
any of us would be dumb enough to, order pizza without saying anything.
Oh, God. Ironically, she was ordering Newts the other day, and she's just like, I'm just going to order pizza for Dan. Wait, no, I should ask him to see if he wants anything other than pizza. I mean, I didn't, but still.
Obviously not.
Well, I feel like what you're
That
describing
entire day
is
was
loving
just-
and considerate.
Remember when I was ordering things and asked you if you wanted stuff? Just like,
Remember when Dan was
Anyway.
considerate?
well.
Joke will
But
never
yes,
get
you
old.
are able to get in through, and as you continue to travel down the
Rainbow Road.
Rainbow Road,
I'm gonna guidance.
Perception check. Are there any lions, tigers, or bears nearby?
Sure, go ahead and oh my.
I'll guidance his perception.
Can I do a medicine check to see how many balls I'm tripping?
All right.
You sure
I got a
can.
14 perception.
All right, why am
I got a 17 on my medicine check.
All right, you are nearly certain that you aren't high on anything.
Okay,
Why
nearly
isn't
certain.
this?
Good.
Why isn't this revealing anything? Need
I told
more
you drugs are
revelation.
bad.
I'm gonna do an
More
Arcana
revelation.
check.
Okay.
just to see if I can figure out.
Don't be such a
Woo!
nerd.
I did a 26 Arcana check.
Nat 20.
Nat 20 that.
Is it on this screen? There it is. You have to go to
Hey.
the map layer. Yay! And as you walk through, it is very, as you can tell, trippy and psychedelic.
It's beautiful.
And you notice that every so often you do see what seems to be on these large, on the wrong layer again because I hate myself, on these large plant things that they are still not activating. Hey, look, I did the thing. These plants specifically seem to look a bit like a terrifying palm tree in the sense that it is either that or someone who is really, really terrible at hiding, as it is what looks to be a person with these leaves coming out of their head.
Did
Are there
my
apples?
Made of palms.
did my Arcana check tell me anything?
What were you rolling Arcana for? Sorry.
Like to know more about like why there's everything's all Technicolor and
You're not sure why everything's Technicolor. You do, between what you can figure out using your intellect and what Ellen told you,
yeah.
is that the color and life is being drained away from the area. But for some reason, this barrier has stopped that in this immediate area. And
It's
but
instead doing the opposite.
it's maybe not doing the opposite, but as you kind of look farther on, those who explore a bit notice that it gets after this area, it starts to even out and become more and more simple, and everything starts returning to the correct colors. The grass is, more just green as opposed to green, purple, yellow, and
Okay.
other greens. But
I will kind of keep close to Ostrich.
okay.
Is there any sign of habitation around at all? Are we on
Nothing you can
road?
see
Is
right
there-
now.
Well, the palm tree is alive, right? It's a person.
Yeah, all the palm tree kind of look like they look as though they are almost like a knight, except for where the head is, you see the blossoming, the ferns and whatnot coming out of their head.
I usually wait until night to do this, or like till we take a long rest, but I think I'm going to go ahead and add the rainbow wall and the psychedelic spring to the map.
I'll go ahead and do this
do-
right now.
All the palm trees look different, or do they all look like a knight?
All of them look like knights.
Do they look like the same night, like how plants kind of look similar, or do they look like they have like distinct faces? Or
Well, they don't have faces, but you do see like they have they all basically look the same. They don't have heads. It's just like the blossoming where the head would be.
okay,
You see that-
I'm gonna go over here, and I'm gonna take out my scythe, and I'm gonna poke it from
You're
10
going
feet
to-
away.
You're going to poke the tree.
Yes.
I'm going to
I
get
was
away
gonna-
from
I
all
was going to
trees.
poke the tree as soon as I was done with the map, so fair enough.
I mean, what
Okay.
other choice do we have?
You could just.
I can try and introduce myself
Hey,
to the
hey.
tree.
Does it hurt being a plant?
Hey, buddy. And I'm just gonna poke it. Just checking to see if you're sentient.
All right. Does anyone understand Sylvan?
Nope.
Nope.
Okay. Then
I
what
have
you hear-
comprehend languages if you give me 10 minutes.
What you hear is just as you poke it, Um, why do you have to poke the bear? Anyway, you start hearing a wind kind of coming out of the leaves of the night tree that you're hitting here.
I'm not hitting. I'm gently touching with my
You're gently
the
touching?
blunt part of my scythe. Yes.
Okay, so it's just more of a is it
It's a
physically
prod.
there? It's
Yeah.
more of a prod than okay. So it's not actually doing any damage. In that case, you just hear the most minute of whispers to the point where you may think it's a breeze, unless you have a passive intellect of over, or no, a passive nature of over 15.
Anybody hear that? Did anybody hear something? I feel like I heard something.
My passive nature would be 14.
I have a bunch of smarty pants here, so maybe somebody's passive nature, since no one ever writes that down.
My passive nature is 13.
10.
I know it was yours. Yours wouldn't. I was talking
10.
about 3 wizards. Oh, there's
I mean, I have 18 intelligence, so that's a +4, but I don't have proficiency in nature, so.
I have 16
Very much
intelligence, and I do not have proficiency in nature.
How do you add up your passive?
10 plus your
10
modifier.
plus
Oh,
modifier.
okay. The mine's 13.
All right. Yeah. So you just hear a whisper, but other than that, nothing happens.
Do you wanna try and understand it?
Do we know that the tree talked? I don't think we do.
No.
Do you understand
You don't
the
recognize that.
breeze? Well, it's mostly the
well,
movement of
no.
air.
If you've ever felt the rain. Yeah, you have no idea that was speech. You just thought it was a breeze.
I mean, do you want me to try and talk to it? I can
is
try to
there-
use comprehend language just to.
Did it seem like it was creating the breeze of the sound, or that it was coming from the?
As far as you can tell with that passive nature, you would have just, seen the leaves rustle and had the and heard the breeze. You wouldn't have heard.
Well,
Connected the two.
in that case, since I didn't hear it talk, I'm going to walk up and touch it with my hand
Okay.
and gently, and just kind of be like, "What are you?" and examine the tree.
And then a
Okay.
tickling motion.
You want to scratch the tree? I should have planned for that.
It's more like a gentle pat stroke.
Stop groping the flora.
I will not put an echo wafer on any of the trees.
Thank goodness, you
What?
can't be poisoning things.
It's all food grade wax and sawdust.
It's not digestible.
Food
It comes out the
grade.
same. According to who? The person selling it?
The person
Typically, yeah.
selling it is Randy, so
So yes.
Yeah,
you
he makes
believe
it.
that to be true.
Well, he's lived
I
on
mean,
it, so
The
obviously.
worm oil
I-
salesman told me it was safe.
I have serious questions about which agency is keeping track of what wax is and is not food grade in this particular setting.
I really do too, but
It's perfectly edible.
it
Goodbye.
passes through. It passes through. That's all that matters.
It can
so-
go down your throat.
Less
When
than
I-
one.
when
Less
I
than 1
touch
in
it
20 people
and I get
die
close-
after eating it.
What do I see? What happens to the tree?
Okay. No, I really wanted. I thought I had a picture of him, and I. Oh well. Anyway, it looks like what I said. Yeah, you kind of just walk up to it. You're kind of observing it up close. You see that it's basically wearing what looks to be chainmail. It's holding like the other ones. It's holding a little scythe type of thing in one hand, and sometimes as you kind of observe them, some of them are holding the scythes in there. Some of them are sheathed, some of them are out, some of them are kind of standing at attention. The other ones are just kind of standing.
Do they have cute
Alright.
little scythe sheaths?
What?
Do they have cute little scythe sheaths? What are the sheaths made out of?
Hey, what are the scythes made out of?
You can't tell.
I'm gonna touch the scythe.
Okay.
You got a splinter.
Die
Can-
horribly.
I'm gonna roll an insight to see if it looks like they turned into trees, like if they were surprised or like in the process of fighting or just standing around or what, like what their general body language was when they got turned into plants. Assuming they got turned into plants.
Understood. Yeah, go ahead and do that.
Okay, and I'll guidance myself.
All right.
Guidance yourself to make yourself a master on plant body.
Exactly.
No, he is a grave cleric, not a knowledge.
Wow.
I am now a brilliant person.
Wow. 11.
You know
I'll
what?
have you note, I have a +7 insight.
Wow. That's impressive.
That dice.
Did you like roll a 2 on your d20 and a 1 on your d4?
A 3 and a 1.
I was so close.
Math is
Only you're
hard.
not a math.
That 20 is in dice jail now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. All right.
Oof.
When I touch the scythe, does it move or react at all?
It doesn't seem to react to it, but you do see that the scythe is very firmly gripped by the plant.
Does it seem like it's one piece?
Um,
I'm gonna shake it a little just to see if it's.
Okay,
loose
why
or
are we
if it's
poking
part
it
of
there?
We want to know if we can make friends with the trees. I think that is why there's so much determination here.
I want to know
Well,
if
at
it's
the
gonna
very least,
attack
loot
me.
the body.
I want to know what's gonna go on. I want to know if can I loot the body? What is this thing?
Does anyone
As
need
you're-
chainmail?
You're not entirely sure if it's actually chainmail or if it's bark that happens to look like chainmail.
Randy's gonna say loudly and slowly, "Do you speak common?"
Yeah.
All right, at this point-
I'm going to walk away.
At this point, I'm gonna cast comprehend language because everybody's sitting here trying to talk to trees.
As you all sit down to start ritually maracking out some comprehend languages, Randy is trying to speak to the tree as though he is whiter than a furball usually is, and Calatrix is trying to loot the tree.
I'm
Roll
not
for
trying
Karen.
to loot it. I'm
Randy,
trying to establish if
turn
it's
into a
lootable.
racist
There's a
tourist.
difference.
During this
And
time
Hazel
now,
having a sign competition between herself and the two owls. Osrich notices.
Do I? When I turn to
hey.
leave?
You're just like, oh, I have to get away from this. All these people are insane. You see what seems to be a large topiary wearing plate armor, going for a stroll. Just kind of this over here, and it just kind of takes a step, goes over the river, and just continues walking.
Hey, we need Mule. He was an expert in topiary.
He was. Oh wait, he's still alive, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Mule
I'm the only
cannot
person
die.
who had to remake my kobold, I think.
No, Dan
Dan did it.
Vogie did, yeah.
Yep, Mule has won 2 rounds of kobolds in a row and survived both of them.
No. And then, as everyone's trying to communicate, it's about 5 minutes into Schmendrick's ritual. You see the topiary, the plate armor topiary, like one does, just kind of pace backwards.
And
Pace
you don't
back the
say
way-
anything?
Remember,
I guess I'll say hi to the topiary.
he's the one who entered this place and immediately said, "Clearly, I'm tripping balls."
Yeah.
And then he saw what everyone else was doing, and he says, "My medicine check says I'm not tripping balls, but that doesn't mean these morons are not tripping balls." All right, so yeah, what do you say to the topiary?
How's it going?
You just see it pause mid-step and just turn and kind of march over to you. And what you see now is and everyone is kind of noticing now that the large topiary wearing plate armor is coming towards you. And as it gets closer, you notice it has kind of the shape of a dragonborn. And as you kind of look across it, it has little bits and pieces of silver inside the leaves of it, and it kind of comes over to you and looks down, and as concerned as a large bush can be, and it's just kind of regarding you, and it turns to regard all of you.
Does anybody here speak Draconic?
Elvish, Giant, Infernal, and Primordial.
What do I speak? I speak Common and Primordial. I think I was supposed to pick a third, and I never did.
I didn't get any languages, so.
Okay.
Well,
How
Can you
many
pick a
I
language?
think I can pick another language. How many languages can you have?
Depends on your
It's-
background.
No problem. Yeah, it's based on your background and your whichever
Race.
class you started with, I believe.
It's background and race plus some
Background and
classes to
race, sorry.
languages.
Um,
Like I have thieves' cant.
yeah, it doesn't have that, but it kind of looks at all of you and opens its mouth, but in a very breezy kind of way, almost like it's a Sylvan being. It's like speaking common, but with a Sylvan accent, if you can believe it. Almost like it's letting the wind flow through it. It's just like, you are not from here.
What gave it away?
It just pointed at you specifically, Brandy, and goes, "I know not what you are."
Neither do I.
We've never seen your kind either. We're from outside the Shimmer. Can you tell us, are these trees men? Were you once a man?
Oh, the Death Blossom Knights are here to protect our refuge.
Your refuge?
Yes.
From what?
You are outsiders. How long have you been here, affected by the Shimmer?
Couple of days?
I don't
A
know.
week, maybe?
Around there.
Ah. Well, then you have much to learn. Come. And the topiary just kind of stands back up and just starts slowly trudging back, following the river a bit, and starts to just go around the bend. Are you following?
Yes.
I'll follow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Look at me planning stuff, and you going in a direction that I intend. This is amazing.
Anyways, we're going south now.
I mean,
Yes, we're going south, and I'm bad at figuring out how maps work. Anyway,
Let's just
in
climb
youth
up here.
pastor school, they always said, when a giant bush tells you to follow, you follow.
Always take directions from bushes.
Yes.
it's important.
So what
if
is
it
the most
lights
random
on
direction
fire,
we can
it's
head in now?
extra important.
Let me see.
Or
We're gonna
dogma.
build a boat and we're gonna go sailing.
To the moon.
We're going to the moon, aren't we?
We're not going to the moon. Like I said,
Because we
as
need
we
to
travel
be
down-
whalers on the moon.
Do we carry a harpoon?
what?
Yes.
On the moon?
Oh boy.
Aww.
All right. You come across. Click. You on the right thing.
Bean.
Sleepy
There we
cute.
go.
He's so sleepy. Don't wake him up.
All right, you come across the fact that Dan hasn't moved your ribbon, the ribbon in roll 20 yet. Hold on.
You come across nothing.
See, I'm not the only one who does that.
No, you're not. I did it too when I was using it.
For a while, nothing happened. And then
So for a while, something happens,
And
then
everything
there is-
happened.
Then
nothing
everything
continued to
happened.
happen.
I tried so hard to try to get this thing to line up, and then I realized the reason it wasn't lining up is when I got the map, it has like a third of a square on each side. I'm like, ooh, I could crop this, or I could just not care. And then guess what I did? All right.
Roll to not care.
All right. Roll for not care. All right, and yeah, so the large plant it kind of leads you, and as the colors become more and more normal, you see what seems to be a fairly newish construction little town area. And you kind of see there's regular looking humanoids, elves, half elves, dwarves, etc., as well as the little bunnies that were running across, as well as even some additional
Whoops.
topiary looking humanoids that seem to be kind of chilling out in packs.
Oops.
They're very whispering angels like, in the sense that weeping angels like, in the sense that they only seem to move when you're not looking.
Creepy.
And the one in front of you just says, "This is the refuge of those who are lucky enough to have left Krasmir before the Defiler came. I am Bonham, and I am their guardian. I came here from outside, much like you.
I'm
Are you always a
ostrich.
plant?
No. I was born a dragonborn. Silver." And you kind of, now that she's mentioned it, you actually notice the kind of inside the plant nature of her. You see little silver scales and whatnot. I was a paladin who was there to protect nature and to right the wrongs and protect the old ways. And I was sent here to deliver a message, but that message was never sent.
Who sent you?
There was nowhere to send it. I'm sorry?
Who sent you?
I would say probably 30, 35 years ago.
No, who
I
sent
was-
you with the message?
Oh, yes. I was recruited by some clerics from a nearby town to deliver a message to the cleric of the church here. These Stormcallers of Kronos were unable to be reached, and they had sent several messengers that had vanished, and so myself and a small team were dispatched, and we picked up some other companions on the way. But once we entered the Shimmer, everything started to unravel, and but we found a mage from another world that was brought here, who was able to make this refuge before his death. And now it gets smaller every year as the Shimmer continues to push, but all are welcome if they would like to enjoy. I feel sorry, for I believe, according to a friend of mine, I believe that there is no escape from this place.
We were
Of the
told that
refuge.
too.
Yes.
And I keep hearing that, but has anybody tried shooting the defiler in the face really hard?
That's my plan.
Shooting what now? Oh, the defiler. No. No, I'm certain that would be a glorious battle. But if I had to choose between risking everyone and protecting the few, I will protect them. So
But
I
are they
really-
protected if it gets smaller every year?
well, we hope to find another mage to help build it. We don't know precisely where this other is from, and you see kind of in the middle of the city here, there's a small fountain, and in the middle of the fountain, she indicates with a leafy hand of the statue, and you see a statue of a man in a suit, like a actual business suit, wearing a gas mask, and
Okay.
holding up a orb in just above his head, and you see Bean, and you see
You
like
see me.
yeah, you do see Bean, and then off to its side and all around it, the fountains that are shooting up the water are books, and Bonham continues to explain. He preferred only to be called Bookman. I believe that is a title rather than
Is he
his
the,
name, but
Is this a Time Lord?
yeah, is this the doctor?
Or just a different Time Lord?
The bookman?
I know not of what you speak.
Sorry, that was out of character.
I do not know your pop culture references.
Why? Well, how did you come to be a plant? If you're cursed, maybe Randy can remove the curse. He's undiseased.
I'm good at that.
3 or 4 times by now.
She's
I catch
she's a
everything.
filthy one. And not in a good way.
She's just not
Just
afraid to
goes
get her
ramming
hands
herself
dirty.
into other people.
You've never heard a bush laugh before, but this one does get about a very hearty chuckle. And Bonham just says, "No, I am most connected to the land here. It is my will that is largely keeping this refuge safe."
How long have you been here?
About 35 years.
Same as Ellen.
Oh, you met Ellen. She is a sweet girl. She should not have ever come.
You know Ellen as well?
Yes, she, due to some unfortunate circumstances, she had joined the party entering into the Shimmer. Her father, she was just a child then, but her father was being chased by a fiend, but he would not abandon his daughter.
Is the place where they're from still there? Or is there...
Ormskirk? Oh, I have no idea. I would certainly hope so. Ironically, when we were first coming here, before we had breached the gates, before we had entered the Shimmer bubble itself, we had found a caravan of individuals that were changed just like this. And we thought it terrifying. But as I swore my oath to protect the earth, as I became an ancient split, I noticed small changes in me. My scales turned green at first, here and there. My power became more and more. And soon, the longer I stayed, the longer vines enwrapped me and strengthened me until I believe my mortal body would have died, but the shimmer has sustained me. And I will continue to defend.
Is everyone here a plant?
No, no. We have trap feet, and she indicates the bunnies that are two of which are staring at you with daggers in their eyes, thankfully, not in their hands. You see various other creatures that have been mutated in some way, as well as just people who seem to be fairly normal looking. As you continue to inspect them, you see more and more.
You're breaking up, babe.
Yeah, you're breaking
Yeah.
up.
I don't know. Why are you breaking up with me? I'm just talking. Gosh. All right.
Speak more clearly,
It's
or I'll
the
never look
pizza.
at you again.
We're all
Lack of
breaking up with
pizza?
you.
I see what it's but yeah, you do see occasionally that there are some individuals that are out of sync with themselves. You see a person, a pair that's walking by, and one of them is talking, or you see their mouth move, and then later the words are coming out, almost like you're in a badly sub-dubbed movie, but that's just how they're talking. And you just kind of see these little nuances. There's what seems to be a blonde girl in a blue dress just going from market to market, but you notice that she never actually physically moves. Like her feet stay planted, and it's just minute teleportation over and over, almost like she's walking in stop motion, essentially. And you hear Bonham just describe the shimmer affects everyone in a different way. We don't particularly know why it does or what it does. And then let's find it. Hazel hears a snort and gets run into by an Invisibor that just is passing. And there are some of us that believe that it is before the Defiler came, that it was some sort of other planar thing
Event.
was trying to figure out what life was, or change it, or make it. We're not entirely sure.
Experimentation.
Potentially. That's what the bookman suggested, that it was some sort of science experiment, were his words, that was trying to figure out how life worked without understanding what anything means. He would occasionally talk about something about zones and whatnot, but no one else seemed to understand what those meant.
What happened to the bookman?
He eventually passed away of old age. He accidentally was working on a project in one of the fast time zones and stayed in for too long and aged himself to death.
Oof.
So, what do you know about the Defiler?
We know that it's the cause of most of the Shimmer. We know that it steals souls, although we don't entirely know why. We also know that healing magic becomes less effective the closer you get to the center of Grasmere.
That's important.
Um, well, maybe not effective. It just becomes more ephemeral. Ephemeral?
Ephemeral.
Ephemeral? Good thing I'm married to a person who studied English. The and Bonham just continues to describe some various things, but she describes the defiler specifically as a human enrobed in chains that carries a sickle or a scythe that is on a chain, as well as a lantern. And anything that dies outside of the refuge seems to get sucked into the lantern.
But if in the refuge, anything that dies, are they safe or they don't get sucked in?
We have to corral them and collect them.
Where do you keep them?
Actually, right here. And she just kind of gestures towards the fountain. And as you approach and look down, you kind of see this collection of will-o-wisps kind of things just kind of bouncing around within the bottom of the well of the fountain, or not the well, but the bottom, the more
Basin.
still water of the fountain basin. There you go. Of the fountain, you just kind of see them floating around. Mostly they're yellow or white, or some shades in between. Occasionally, you'll see a red one or a green one. But they're just kind of there. And then as you're talking with Bonham, you do see what seems to be a crying young child holding a lantern with one in it as it's coming out of the house, and it dips the lantern into the fountain, opens it up, and the wick falls, goes out, and just joins the others. And he just kind of sadly weeps and walks away.
Callie, do you think your roommate might want to chill here?
I was just thinking that.
Fascinating.
Bottom, maybe this is really more of a question for you, Randy. I have a spirit hanging out with me. Can I just like regurgitate her into the fountain, or like she'd be
You
safe
have-
here?
You have a how do you mean?
There was a ghost of a woman, an elvish woman, who died on the road. Unfortunately, her body had been protected enough, and then these little grayling things came out, and
The
To the
Umbra.
parlor.
yeah, tried to get her, and she was trying to communicate with us, and she tried to possess me. And I
But
sensed
you
that
let
she,
her.
and I sensed that she had something to tell us, so I let her hitch a ride.
Fascinating. So you let a spirit possess you. You are still possessed, but not possessed. That is
Yes.
very interesting.
She doesn't seem to mean any harm. She was a messenger.
All right, and Callie, you start hearing it just in the back of your head, Nala going, "What? Are we talking about me? Are we talking about Steve?"
We're talking about you, Nala. She's
Oh,
paying attention now.
and then Bonham goes, "What is her name?"
Nala Silverbow.
Interesting. She was one of the messengers that had been sent before us. It is nice to know that she is still around.
I think she'd like to pass on if she can, but Randy couldn't seem to figure out how to get her out of this plane and into the plane of the undead, or the dead.
No, I don't believe that that's something that she'd be able to do here. I haven't run into a friendly ghost. However, from what I know of Nala Silverbow, that does not surprise me. Hmm.
She seemed to mostly just not want to be captured by the Umbra. She wants to move on. And then somehow I'll explain to Nala what's going on. And, like, that we could maybe let her rest in the well.
Okay. Well, as you're doing this, Nala does not seem to be particularly keen about resting in the well. She actually prefers to be there with you and out and about, but she does seem to like to have an option. Um, but she is also kind of scared, as you've explained everything, that all right, you can put me into this vessel that may be protected but won't help me pass on. So I'm not really particularly thrilled. You kind of have some rage, ghost rage, in her voice.
But Nala, if I die, then we're both stuck with my corpse, and then we're both, probably gonna, be endangered by the Umbra, especially if everybody else doesn't make it out.
Well, but
That's true.
at this point, it's kind of one prison or another. The
Precisely.
prison of the well versus the prison of the defiler.
Yeah.
Until the
Bellatrix's prison of the body is less likely to last for several years at this rate.
Right. And she is much more excited about having a fighting chance and giving you a advantage if she can or something than just
Participating in her own redemption in some way.
right.
Her own salvation, yeah.
Yeah, she was caught up in as a ghost in her area for a while, and she's happy to be able to do something other than wait. So
Seems reasonable. I'm okay with her sticking around.
One more question. Before we passed over through the barrier into this area, we met something that was a bit like an Umbra, but bright white.
How many of them?
Just one.
We saw one. It ran off, and my owl followed it for a while, but then it turned invisible and vanished.
Oh dear. Well, it seems that the Shadow Kai have discovered that entrance. Those are elves that are the native of wherever the Defiler comes from. I've heard it being called various places: Shadow Realm, Other World, etc., etc.
Do you
But
have any idea how they got here, or have you ever seen anyone injure the Defiler or make a good fight against him?
no, everyone I've seen try to, short of Father Matthias, has been taken down by his forces, and then the Defiler, I've been told, just simply collects their souls with a laugh.
What did Father Matthias do?
Well, Father Matthias is less of a father or a Matthias, and more of a very angry ball of righteous energy at the moment. So it has a tendency to do things very well, but not in a very directed fashion. And we tried about 10 years ago now to just pincer in and try to cut off whatever the Defiler had in Krasmir that was giving him its power. I'm sorry. Most evil things I refer to as him. Father Matthias would cut through anything as we were going through. But when I say anything, that included much of our people as well. And they battled, the Defiler and him battled for quite some time. And then tentacles came from under one of the buildings and drove off the good father.
Tentacles.
Yes, it was not what I expected either.
What on earth could be under a building and have tentacles?
Those are the types of questions I have stopped asking.
A large octopus.
As you ask, a conscious topiary.
It's fair.
I would be fascinated to study every single living creature here, but seeing as nothing makes sense, I'd just be jotting down gibberish. So
Just random observations that don't form
Yeah.
any kind of whole holistic picture.
yes, that's why I'm standing here listening to this conversation instead of staring at people. They also find that rude when I do that.
I mean, feel like I've got the information I can get out of this. I mean, I'm not much for being stuck. My plan is to find the defiler and shoot it a whole bunch until it stops moving, then break its lantern.
Yeah.
Did you ever get sight of what its power is or where it's stored? Do you have any sense of where we might best be to try and cut him down?
As far as we know, the power that he has comes from souls. And after a couple attempts, when we figured that out, we stopped giving him more souls.
Sounds like we got to get the lantern.
And I believe whatever happened here before I arrived opened some sort of rift between here and somewhere else. And I believe the defiler's purpose is to widen it to get something else through. I just don't know anything that's pure conjecture on my part. Do you all wish to stay here and seek refuge with your cat? And, or do you, is there anything that we can provide if you are trying to attempt to go in a different direction?
Can Matthias still be reasoned with?
I mean, you can always try, but good luck.
How you feeling,
Happen to
Callie?
have any of the... Go ahead.
How you feeling, Callie?
I feel all right. I'm healthy.
You were a
now.
little bit dead this morning, so I'm just making sure.
I mean, if you guys want to have a safe place to rest overnight, this would be a sensible place to take a night's refuge at least. See if we can discover anything else.
You can certainly do that.
Are any of the Bookman's books still here?
Yes, and she indicates which home those are stored in. We also have a number of craftsmen and from various types. We don't have much by way of currency, although people do show up with some from time to time. But if there's something that we can provide, especially if you are going to be attempting to face the defiler, that we'd be happy to provide.
Do you have anything that can suck souls?
The defiler does.
No, that seems to be the opposite of what we're trying to do. We're trying to release them.
Well, if we can catch him, then we can weaken him enough to get him.
Speaking of souls, Calatrix, the coin of Steve that you had from Steve's body, do you think that might have a soul in it?
I hadn't really thought about it. What, Randy? What does your other coin do?
I can.
You
It
can
lets you
talk
call
to the
whatever
soul, or you can use
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, he has a special one, but you have just a normal soul coin of Steve the Pirate.
I mean, it's a coin, there's a fountain. Seems to make sense.
Huh?
Yeah.
Let me try to call Steve.
Yep, you can. As you are interacting with it, you notice it only has 3 Steve charges. And you can either release it by removing the curse that binds it to the coin, or
Keep them in your pockets.
or you can hang on to it because you can actually use some of Steve's power to either ask it questions or give yourself temporary hit points. But if you are able to, you can also just try to destroy the coin to free Steve from it instead in lieu of doing something like remove curse.
He came to fight with us. Should we keep him with us, or should we try and remove curse here and store him in the fountain?
I think it's up to you.
He'll
I
be
don't feel
trapped.
like I knew Steve very well. All I did was pay him.
I didn't know him.
I mean, if he's trapped, this defiler will eventually get him. The coin might actually keep him safe for a little while at least. What
Well,
happens
we
when it
can-
runs out of charges?
Do a religion or arcana check, or you can spread them to people who are.
I'm asking that question out loud to the rest of the party.
I have a 4 in religion. Randy, you better be higher than that.
I have a +3 in religion.
Oh
It's an
boy.
intellect check.
Arcana
right,
is an option.
Yeah, arcana is an option.
No.
Well,
Arcana's
Randy,
fine.
you can still help out somewhat.
Yeah, I'm proficient, so I can give you advantage, and I can guidance you.
Yep. All right. Another d20. That's a 12 on a dice. +4, +7, so that's 23.
There we go.
Outstanding. For what you know, that if a soul coin is used in such a manner, the soul typically goes to a final resting place, but not usually a good one.
Ah,
Ooh.
Because
so we may
the
just.
soul coin by itself is an evil object,
Yeah, let's
with the
try-
exception of Randy's, which is a very neutral object, as it was given to him by the literal fairy.
Does Bonham know how to remove the curse or destroy it?
You would like me to release the soul of your friend?
And put him in the fountain. If I use it and he goes to a bad place, I wouldn't be able to live with myself.
That is very wise of you. And now I have to see if removed curse is ranged or touch. Hold on.
But it's very wise of you, and I must open the player's guide.
Now wait. Last time I did this, did my hands touch the person, or did I just do it from a distance like this?
Bonham was the queen of high fives, so I feel like even if it were ranged, she would,
It's
Is,
touch.
I mean,
all right, it
I
is
can
touch.
I can prepare remove curse in the morning.
yes,
well.
and you have to have remove curse prepared the whole day.
That's true.
And you'd also be using that spell slot.
Yeah.
And all right, and then Mom says, "Yes, I can release your friend from this imprisonment." And she takes the coin from you. Is there anything you would like to say to him?
Goodbye. I'd like to tell him
Yar.
goodbye.
And she hands you the coin and says, "You can speak with him one last time."
Tell him you love him.
Tell him you have a tattoo of him on your shoulder.
You got a lot of tattoos of him.
This would be the most awkward time for him to say he only likes you as a friend.
I
I wasn't thinking of that, but that would be so terrible.
Like, that's really nice, but
am I able to bring Steve out at all? Is he able to appear?
No, you can ask a question telepathically and receive a response.
I
Randy-
will ask him if he forgives me for not saving him.
Randy plays some
Oh boy.
some appropriate sad music.
If it's on a ukulele, it's never appropriate. Well said. Wait, no. I've heard Amanda Palmer pull it off. All right. You ask him this, and you just receive a very. You can't do it while you're playing the ukulele. um, he basically says, "Save me! I got stung or bit and then exploded. I don't really know how you could have saved me."
I could have protected you from being stung or bit. I could have taken the bite for you.
I don't know if that's how that works. But I'm glad that I was able to meet you. You seemed really nice and pretty, and I was hoping that you
Get dinner, get pizza together.
eat somewhere other than the galley sometime.
Yeah, me too.
Sorry, I ruined it.
I guess this is goodbye.
Is it? I'm not entirely sure what's going on.
I'm gonna put you in this well so that you have a chance of your soul going to another plane that's actually pleasant.
Oh,
And you can get out of this coin.
I didn't know I was in a coin. That explains a lot. Everything's so jingly. Smells like hands.
Hopefully not the cook's hands. Ooh.
Oh.
Like onions and garlic and
I'm
Big
sorry I
fruit
didn't
of it.
tell you I'm sorry I didn't tell you I wasn't feeling good. I probably should have told you. Wait, we didn't have anyone who'd have healed me anyway, didn't we?
no. But we might have been able to find a way. I guess we'll never know. Do you want me to try and bring you back if I can?
I mean, is that something you can do now?
I mean, we know where your body was. Well, I mean, I know where your grave dirt is now. Ash?
Wait, what now?
Don't worry about it.
Oh.
But maybe, I don't know. You could try after all this is over if you want to find someone to resurrect you.
I think I'm good. I mean, definitely try not to send me to the bad place. But I also would like to stop smelling like a penny. So, excuse me, upper piece. So yeah, if you want to release me, that'd be okay. Especially if there's other people to talk to.
Okay, then.
All right. Well, see you on the other side, I suppose.
And then I'll just give Bonham the coin.
You hear Bonham start whispering a very beautiful curse-breaking spell, and then just kind of give the coin a flip, and then high-five it, Spike, right into the well. And you hear, and you just see as it hits the water, the coin actually bounces off. But you do see a white orb, white wisp, kind of develop where it hit, and it kind of floats down and starts floating with the rest of the wisp. When you go down to retrieve the coin itself, it just looks like a piece of iron.
I'm gonna keep it anyway.
So there's face on it.
No more face on it, no more gold filigree. It's just a piece of iron now.
Sad.
One last.
All right, and so now, any of the at this point, if you are looking for any types of new equipment, or if you want to set any stones, look for anything, any specific stones, etc., y'all can have a little market day.
Yeah. What kind of stones do you have? Because I have 2 weapons, neither of which
Okay.
have stones.
Okay.
But I also have 7 gold total.
I mean, I have like 2,100 gold. What have you? Oh, you weren't there when we raided the
Yeah.
pirates. I can
Yeah.
spot you some.
Okay.
Okay, I mean, yeah, you can do all sorts of things, especially Rena. You can attempt to perform. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, what are you guys on the lookout for? Are you looking for more abilities, greater? Uh, uh, what exactly are you looking for gem wise? So let me pull up page not found. Well, that's not good.
I'm looking for page not found.
Well, I've got a
Uh,
deal for you.
there's the magic bloodstones that you introduced earlier on. The ones that
Mhm.
you have to have several to cast a ritual.
Oh yeah, the bloodstones. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can find. There are some of those. There's actually a individual who is willing to sell you additional stones for about 50 gold apiece and
Okay.
instruct you in how to use them. And basically, you can use the bloodstones to cast various divination spells as rituals.
Oh,
Um, and also you can sacrifice a bloodstone to turn a ritual, normally a ritual divination spell, into just being cast as an action. So basically, you sacrifice a bloodstone instead of using a spell slot. Let's see. We've got a for other. Are you interested in any of those or no?
I'll have to look through to see what divination spells I want.
Okay. You do have a for stones that can be put into weapons. There's one that is a growing stone. Uh, increases you basically can increase the size of your weapon, increasing the damage die by one for 10 minutes, but only for melee weapons. A cruel stone that uh, can poison things that are already frightened. And then whenever you use it to knock a creature unconscious or kill something, you gain 5 temporary hit points. Let's see.
I have
There
a
is,
ring that could hold a stone.
yes, you do. Let's see. Do. There is a ring or a stone of healing that basically acts as a potion of healing, but refreshes itself in the every morning.
I would like to get the stone of growth in my halberd.
Of course you would. You mean in your halberd or in your? Oh, in the halberd. Okay.
Because it's a +1 halberd, so that would make it 2d10 plus 4.
Well,
A
yeah,
2d10 plus
you
3.
would lose the +1 bonus, but it would turn into a 2d10 weapon. Yeah.
That seems better, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I could put it in the crystalline maul, and then that would make it a 3d6 or 4d6 whenever I'm using it. But then I don't have reach on that. Oh, and then it would be 2d4 when I boop.
Yep, it would, but only for that 10-minute period.
How many times a day can I do it?
Just once. Um,
Pouty face has been activated.
there's lots of things like that. Let's see.
Most things activate the pouty face.
Yeah, it's the
Other
first weapon
things
of
that you
choice.
see is you see like a bow archery, where instead of giving you a +1 bonus to both, it just gives you a +2 bonus to hit. And then you see various things like a dueling sword that gives you +2 to damage, but no bonuses to hit, that sort of thing. You see various weapons, and if you're looking for a certain type of effect on stone, you can just start rattling them off if you want, or if there's something specific that you think would be cool.
Anything that's like a bonus to AC?
Let's see. Ba-doo. Yes, there is a.
Is there a stone of fireball?
No. There's a stone where you can make yourself explode. No.
A stone of fireball punching. You can only cast fireball on something you're punching.
I want it.
But you gain vulnerability to fire damage.
I still want it.
is actually.
That would be interesting. It's like if it's not 5-foot range, it's touch range because it only activates when you touch. But you can just cast it through your familiar. So you just send your familiar to explode on people,
Okay,
and
then
then
you
summon
lose
them
your
again.
You have to summon your familiar again because it's very dead.
Yes. Super
The
dead.
stone of explosive familiars.
Stone of kamikaze.
Because owls have 1 hit point. They're not going to win.
There is a yes, there is a steel skin stone that allows you to, as a reaction, become resistant to all damage except for psychic. But can only be set in a shield.
Okay.
That doesn't do a lot for me.
Right. So that'd be.
If I could,
more of a.
if I can find a magic shield, that would be nice.
Yeah, you can find they have basically lots of minor things that have it. So you can find shields that have like a +1 to investigation or a +1 to perception, and then you can replace that with something like a steel skins.
Do they have any magic gloves? So I have a counterpart for my glove of the murder.
Yes. You find a.
Does it release doves and give you temporary hit points?
No, but that would be hysterical. There is a what they call a tenacious glove. Whenever you take a long rest, you gain back an additional hit die.
Oh, Calatrus kind of needs that, to be honest.
Yeah.
He keeps
How much is that?
dying a lot.
That is, I want to say 250.
Ah,
Or no, that's 150.
sold.
So the magic bloodstones, are those only for ritual divination spells or just any of them?
You basically, they give you additional ritual spells so that you can basically use them to create rituals that you don't know.
Okay.
And then the number of stones that you have beyond the first gives you, like, if you have 2 stones, you can cast a first level divination ritual. If you have, 3 stones, second level, and so on and so forth.
Okay.
Or if you, in your case, since you already have those, you can sacrifice the bloodstones and smash them to do a ritual as an action. So
Okay.
you don't have to have the extra 10 minutes.
Okay, I want to make sure you weren't just giving me any divination spell that I can cast as a ritual.
Are there any other cool gloves and also anything that makes me even stealthier?
Okay, so cool gloves. Roll on the cool gloves table. Boop.
Are there any accessories for my cat?
Accessories for your cat?
Mm-hmm.
Cute collar with a bell.
Oh,
Kitty eye patch.
I did.
Doesn't he
I
already
mean,
have
look
nice-
at him. He's so cute.
oh, speaking of which, Randy, you should probably have your own familiar as well.
Everyone
You
gets a
can't
familiar.
Cast it.
Berg doesn't get
Well,
familiars.
if we can get a spell scroll of find familiar,
Ooh.
And you can cast it one time, and his familiar ever dies.
but he also, while the familiar is alive, he can cast touch spells at the range of the familiar, like 100 feet.
That's true.
Oh, these are. Oh, wait, this is an armor table. No.
How much for +1 plate armor?
That's. They don't have that.
I can't wear that.
One. Yeah, nobody here can wear that.
Nobody can wear it.
Let's see.
The tree could wear it.
The. What?
The topiary. Bottom.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, sorry, the
tree's
topiary.
already rocking. The bottom is already rocking.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah,
we have
looking at her. My sister could probably use armor made of grass.
Is there anything that would help me boost like my healing magic?
Well, let's see.
Like either make it more potent or like.
You do.
Did they sell Viagra, but for healing magic?
Viagra magic?
How many times can Viagra come up in 1 week? That's the real
Stone of
question.
Tumescence.
Okay.
Phrasing?
All right. We have a Quiver of Lies that allows you to cast the Silent Image spell once a day. Let's see.
I can already cast that.
But this is for free. I don't know.
But an extra one.
What do I use my first level spell slots on?
Let's see. The Reaper's Circlet, which gives you advantage on death saving throws.
Boop.
Let's see. Ooh, the Solemn Belt of Taverns, where you always know the direction to the closest alcoholic beverage. And also, you can spend an action to remove a failed death saving throw from a target within 5 feet once a day.
Schmendrick, you already have Speak with Animals, right?
No.
I mean, that
Beth
belt
was the one
sounds
who had
pretty
speak with
good.
animals.
Okay.
Like, I'm the most likely to be in a situation where death saves are failing, or Randy, because Randy can't resurrect himself. So somebody who's less likely to go down in the line of fire is probably
Yeah.
better suited for
Ostrich
the...
is the most likely because he stays away from the line of fire.
Yeah, like anyone other than me that goes down, I can stabilize you with a bonus action on my next turn.
And then
I mean,
Schmendrick
Schmendrick's-
has the healing vest, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was just
Oh,
going to
yeah,
say
you should do
Schmendrick's
that.
interested in a belt that tells him where all the alcohol is, so...
I mean, there's that.
I
The
just...
belt of finding parties.
Well, he
True
needs to
Belt.
know because he's got to
That
entertain
gives you
them.
the access to True Strike. Oh yeah, everyone definitely wants that.
Then you cast it, it's like, alright, it's really close. Where? Your hit flask. Fuck you. So you have to be really sober to use this.
Belt of Party Boy.
Everyone
Were
Are
wants
there
to
any
be
good gloves or
entertained.
anything for Ostrich?
Or
let's
stealth,
see.
a stone that I can put in my dancing ring that makes me stealthy.
All right, if nobody else wants that belt, how much is the belt?
Let's say that's also 150.
Sure.
Let's see, you want
Is that for the belt of partying, or
The belt of
that's the belt
partying,
of-
yeah.
the party belt.
That wasn't its original name.
sometimes things get better names?
They do.
Just link it in the Discord.
Not the solemn belt of tavern, is the party belt of occasionally saving people. Completely different. Let's see.
Is there a
Leopard-
glove of
leopard-
slapping?
Leopard print
Love 'em.
thong and bow tie optional.
The semantic component to use the belt, you have to rip your pants off.
And whip it good. All right.
And play some techno.
Are there breakaway pants in this village?
There is a gem of blink arrow that allows you to basically shoot an arrow and then teleport to where that location is once a rest.
I mean, I have
That's actually
Misty
kinda cool.
Step.
That sounds like a pretty good thing for me to have.
Yeah.
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 Especially considering how far you can shoot an arrow.
Yeah.
And how accurately. We need to get up on that cliff.
Wait, how
That's
do
not a
the
rope.
rest of us get up on that cliff?
Well,
Oh,
I levitate, and everybody
just
else
tie
is
it
screwed.
up. Or
true.
you can just load Ostrich down with a bunch of rope. He fires it up there.
Oh, Randy, if you
I do
want-
have a harness that everyone thought would be useless.
I still don't see how the harness helps.
Or pulling people up things. It makes sense.
I mean, if you were levitating, I would just tie a rope around a rock and have you pull yourself over.
Uh, she's going to cast levitate on you and then throw you. Oh.
No, I would cast levitate on myself, put the
You
harness
are-
on Hazel, and pull her up. So she wouldn't have to expend her strength to hold on.
I see.
It actually makes sense.
Okay, let's see.
So it would be like the like child leashes.
Yes, that's exactly right. There is a gem of frenzy for 100 gold that allows you to basically, if you don't have an extra attack feature, when you hit someone with an attack, your next turn, you can get an extra attack as long as it's one of the melee weapon.
Because I do not have an extra attack.
You do not.
And how often can I use that?
That's it every fight. So that'll happen. You can just basically get one frenzy charge, and as long as you keep attacking, you keep it. But as soon as you do something other than attack, you lose the charge, and then.
And I gotta go back. Yeah.
There is also a. At first, Osrich, you are fairly certain that they're joshing you, but it's called the Imaginary Edge, and it's a rapier that only exists in your imagination until you hold it trying to stab someone, and then after a short rest, it becomes imaginary again.
What is the benefit of this weapon?
You never have to pull it out. It's always technically around.
And you just have to imagine it in your hand, and then
Does
in
anyone
your hand.
does anyone
Can't
else
imagine
read
stealing it.
goblins?
Like, I can't use a rapier, but
You can. I thought you already had a
No.
rapier.
no, I have a short sword.
I could have sworn you had a rapier.
You can't do a dexterity-based attack?
Does anyone else read the webcomic Goblins?
No.
There's a character in there named Midmax who he gets an enchanted sword that takes on the element of whatever it touches. So he plunges it into a portal of like void energy. And
I like it.
yeah, like
No, it's
It-
a void sword.
well, essentially, whenever he drops the sword, a portal opens up, and his hand comes through and picks it up. So it becomes a gag throughout the series of like just randomly like him handing the sword off to himself, and you hear like there's dialogue from a different random comic coming through, and yeah.
All right. Schmendrick or Hazel, you find a staff of vitality. Your hit points are increased. Your
You're
You're
breaking
breaking
up.
up.
Yeah.
But just give it to Hazel. Schmendrick
No, it's just
gets random shit.
okay.
Never
But yes,
anything
it's
useful.
Basically,
Unless Hazel
increases
doesn't want it.
your maximum hit points by your Constitution score while you are tuned to it. So whatever your Constitution is. So what is it? 12.
My constitution is 15. It's a +2.
Okay, so you would get an extra 15 hit points out of it.
Okay.
Is there anything that's stealthy?
I haven't found anything that's stealthy. I'm still clicking.
What are you looking at?
You don't know.
I
How
can
much
find
for
out.
the, so how does the teleporting stone work? What would I need to install that into?
You would just you would set it
quiver.
into a either a quiver or a bow, and then whenever you use that bow, you can choose to blink to the location of it.
Do they have a quiver it can be set into?
I don't see any.
Wait,
plus on quiver.
Did you not say it was a quiver?
No, it was a stone.
The stone is the quiver of Blinkstone?
No, it's just called the Blink Arrow. It's
Oh, okay.
the Stone of Blink Arrow. Boop, 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 boop.
That's confusing.
See, proficiency bonus to damage rolls on damage dealt during surprise rounds. That's cool, but not particularly stealthy.
I'm gonna look at what he's looking at.
The
the
Archmage Killer.
Bearer may
Arch-
cast vicious mockery once per day.
The
Fine.
Archmage
Generator
Killer.
weak magic items. Leave me alone.
Desperate Pendant of Miracles?
That seems lame. Rebellion of Shade. No. Tenacious. We already got one of those.
The Shield Breacher and the Archmage Killer, are those both the tuned items?
The what?
The Bracer that lets me cast Shield once a day and the Archmage Killer, are those both the tuned items?
The one that is. Yes, those are both attuned items. Yes.
Okay.
Do they have a magic bow of any type that I could put the blink stone into?
Right. So there are things like if you have for example, the bow of archery gives you +2 to attacks. You could set the stone in, and it would be +1 to attack, and then you'd have the blink stone. Does that
Sounds
make
really
sense?
cool.
So you wouldn't get the +1 damage, but you'd be able to do that.
Do I have to attune to that?
No.
Okay, then I want that.
Okay. All right. It'll be 150 for the bow, and then 100 for the gold, and then another. What was it? 50 to set the thing. I wrote that down.
300. It's
Yeah, a
300.
total of 300 for the whole thing. So you have a +1 to hit with the bow, and then the ability to blink whoever it hits.
Alright, for the Bloodstones, I picked up Speak with Animals, Beast Sense, Locate Animal or Plants, and Divination.
Okay. Oh yeah, the bloodstones. Yeah, you don't have to attune to those. Those are just stones.
Yeah.
Can someone front me some gold to get that frenzy stone?
I can.
Yeah.
We can front you some gold.
Yeah, they have a ton of gold and nothing to do.
Yeah, we have not had anything to spend gold on. I have 2,268 gold.
All right.
I have
I need to find
1,976 gold now that I bought my other glove.
There has to be something more. Poacher's mark. Let's see.
Do we have any spell scrolls in this market?
Yes. You have basically any first level spell you can think of. Some of it you haven't heard of, including a spell scroll of Detonate Dead. You'll never guess what that does.
That sounds awesome.
Wait, can I ask what kind of bow the bow of archery was?
They have various ones, but you can use. What do you use? Short bows, long bows?
I can't use longbows, but I can use
Okay,
short
then yeah,
bows
you can have the short bow then.
or a light crossbow.
You can have either, whichever you prefer. All right. Well, yes. Technically, smoke bomb is a stealthy thing, but I'm pretty sure you can only cast fog cloud. So
I don't know fog cloud, but
you don't know fog cloud. Okay.
is the imaginary rapier an attuned item?
No.
Guess I'm gonna buy an imaginary rapier.
All
Will
right.
you be able to
that's-
use it?
Yes, I thought rogues couldn't use rapiers, but I can.
Yeah.
That
The only
makes
thing that they can use that doesn't make any sense is long swords. They're like, yay, this is useful. Doesn't
Yeah.
trigger anything.
It's useful
thanks.
if you're an elf rogue who gets their hands on a a finesse moonblade.
I suppose.
very
Bear
niche.
trap. Wonder what that does. That's exactly what's on the tin.
Is there a scroll of sneaky?
Uh, yes, you can find a scroll of doctors. Or
I have
no.
one of those.
You have a scroll of Pass Without a Trace?
Yeah. Just one.
Well, that means the mages can learn it. Or at least Hazel can. Leap Slam. Do. You know what? You can find some, what are they called? The Boots of Elvenkind that give you advantage while.
Boots of Elvenkind just make your footsteps silent.
But they give you advantage on stealth checks when you're trying to be silent.
Do that?
Pretty sure. Survey says. There's only one bee in boots. Boop.
Okay, yeah, that rely on moving silently. Cool.
Yes. So yeah, you can grab one of those. Let's see. That is uncommon, so that'll also be 300 gold.
That for the rapier and the boots, both 300?
Yes.
Okay,
But
so-
yeah, neither of those need attunement.
Cool. I bought those two things.
Yay!
Hey, and did we lend Randy money for his gloves of frenzy?
Oh yeah.
Frenzy
So
Stone.
he has this frenzy stone. He got it set. Did you get the tenacious gloves?
Yes.
So you can get more.
I'll lend the cash to Randy.
Oh, thank you.
No problem.
Literally, no problem.
I think we have more money on the ship.
Even more money on the boat.
We'd have
And
even
we're
more
gonna
money
find
if somebody
something-
let me keep that cursed thing where I got to,
We're not going to steal. We don't
Pickpockets.
steal.
Are there any like magical shields or armor?
Yes. I just saw the. I actually skipped the armor when I was looking for gloves. I'm like, why are none of these gloves? Oh, because they're all armor. Right. Treat this when attuned to evil aligned character. No, that's not good. That's hide armor. What are you wearing? You're wearing chain?
Scale.
Scale. Okay. You do find the scale armor of sorrow. Whenever an ally falls unconscious in battle, you gain +1 AC for the next 10 minutes. But once the ally stabilizes or awakens, you lose that bonus.
That won't do too much for me because I'm gonna bring them up pretty quick.
Basically, it helps you survive before you bring them back up again.
True.
So was there anything cool I could put in my dancer's amulet?
Oh, you were trying to replace the dancer with something?
Yeah.
What
I
does
was
the
hoping it would
dancer
be-
do?
It
was
gives me a
just-
+1 bonus to acrobatics checks. Which is fine, but I'm already good at acrobatics.
Gotta be more.
Like I said, it's
can only do
specified.
that, you
Is
can
there
do
anything
that,
that I
you
can
can do
replace
that.
it with that makes me more stealthy? Which I'm already even better at.
I want to be better at the thing that I do.
I mean, you got to be able to roll more than a 40.
Yeah. If you don't have a +20, then what are you even doing? Do. You can see twice as far. Okay. Bonus to intimidation, bonus to survival.
Is there anything I can poke with my imaginary rapier?
You can always poke things with your imaginary rapier in your
There's
mind.
a Smendrick.
There's always a Schmendrick.
I'm not going to stab Schmendrick.
Are you sure? He's
Yes.
right there. Not
If you want to
introducing
stab me,
himself.
I can handle it.
He's
I mean,
awfully
if you need provoking, I'll offer you a Necco wafer.
Murder, murder, murder.
Like, I'd rather not stab anybody, but I do want
Randy's
to
not really a person.
test the rapier.
Yeah, I mean, whenever you want it to be real, it becomes real until you take a rest.
Okay, like the original description was when you use it and try to stab somebody, it becomes real. Like,
Oh.
is there a way to test that without?
Stabbing someone? You
No,
actually intend to
Because like
stab.
I don't want to stab somebody I like, but I also don't want to run into combat for the first time. Like, ha
Oh no!
Nothing happens.
I did this wrong!
It's the same
Wait.
instance with those invisible clothes all over again. I thought I was
Okay.
so smart.
Okay, if I can just make it real, that's cool.
Yeah, you just can make it real, but it stays real until you take a rest, and then it goes back to your imagination. Okay, let's see. Wow, there is not much by way of stealthy stuff in here.
I
Is there any roguey stuff?
I'm looking. I mean, there's lots of like kind of roguey stuff, but so like you don't really need more passive perception. You don't need any.
Wait, who doesn't need
Wait.
more passive perception?
What he needs is boots of pass without a trace.
Those sound balanced.
It's
I
fine,
would
the
also
limited-
like boots of pass without a trace. And
Randy would definitely want boots with
Can
passive
I get
trace.
can I get boots of everything's a natural 20?
It's fine, it's fine. Boots of everything is natural 20s, limited to 3 times per short rest. It's balanced.
Totally balanced.
You have 200 gold.
Can I get back to you on it? Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I want boots of gladly pay you Tuesday for a burger today.
how about a ring of Otto's irresistible dance? Bring
no.
it back.
First of all, we've all discussed that is a terrible spell that should never be cast.
Why?
How about a ring of toxicities left that only
Yes.
his Calatrix?
It's a truly terrible spell. Jonathan, can you imagine somebody casting that spell on their entire player group?
Yeah. I can imagine it.
I hate it when that happens.
Who would do such a thing?
I got good rolls on my dancing.
True story. Like the paladin of the party managed to break out of the spell and save everybody else, except for Jonathan's character, who every single round was like, "Look at my dancing! Woo!"
Can I break out? No. Can I dance? Fuck yes.
All right.
Roll a wisdom
here we
saving
go.
throw. 3. Okay, roll performance. 29.
Better than boots of Elvenkind? Spider boots or slippers.
Okay, here we go. This is not going to be terribly useful, but Wizard's leather armor of crystal gives you +1 to Arcana checks, and is a +1 armor until you take a critical hit, at which point it loses that forever. Which in a party where you have 2 people who are guaranteeing you to not take critical hits, pretty decent.
But it doesn't actually increase my AC.
Well, I mean, it's do you already have 13 plus dex armor?
I have studded leather. Wait, it's
Oh,
13 plus
fine.
dex?
Yeah, it would be 12 plus 1 until you take a critical hit. So it would be 13 plus dex until you take a crit.
I thought leather armor was 11 plus dex. So
No,
+1.
leather cloth armor is 10. Cloth armor means you're wearing clothes.
Leather armor
and
is 11.
Leather
plus
armor is
dex.
leather armor, and then studded leather is 12. So this will be 12 plus 1.
Oh,
Okay.
it's
So-
another armor of.
So this is studded leather armor.
Yes.
Okay, well
Did
then
I
I
say
will buy
that?
this armor.
All
No, you
right,
said leather
that'll-
armor.
You know what? I just worked. All right, and that'll be another.
This
don't
is the
make
most
rules, I'm the
apathetic
DM.
shopkeep ever.
Listen,
Do you have review cards in this establishment?
do I have what?
Review cards. I would like review cards. Customer comment cards? You know what? I'll just make one.
Who are you going to complain to? The sentient owl outside this barrier?
Obviously.
Who?
Can I trade in my inspired studded leather armor?
What was your? Oh yeah, you can certainly do that. And you'll basically get the hide armor of crystal, or not the hide, the
Studded leather
Yes.
wizards.
studded leather of crystal. You know, here I'll just put it.
Should
If I
I
just keep like saying it, maybe it'll just turn into something completely different.
Do we also have
Um,
the special ink for copying spell scrolls?
Yes, there's plenty of ink. There's ink all over.
Okay.
This.
And the spell scroll of Detonate Dead, what class is that generally for?
Any class can use it.
I was basically asking if I can copy it down to my spell into my book.
Sure, but you'd be copying it down as a second level spell. So,
Second level?
and then the spell itself would be, I believe, 150? That's what they do? They're 75, 150, 225 spell scrolls?
Breaking up.
Yep, break it up.
Also, I never got the price that I would need to pay for my wizard studded leather armor of crystal.
Since you're trading in your other armor, it's only 150 instead of 300.
Okay.
I need you guys to like buy a boat or something because you have way too much.
We already have a boat.
No,
we
that's
stole
the
a boat. That's why we have so much money.
And we have horses.
Come
And
Did
my
you-
horse has barding.
Did you have any magical shields or any other
Oh, that's
magical
right. We were
scale
looking
mail?
for shields.
Yeah.
We're looking for
So-
shields and also literally anything useful for a rogue to put in my amulet.
Yeah.
Do you have a saddle of permanent fly that I can put onto my Mastiff?
No.
Damn it.
Wait, you have a mastiff? Oh, that's right. You
Yeah.
do have a mastiff. That's right.
Yeah, our mounts are hanging out on our boat.
Oh no.
Those poor horses.
Look, we
Yeah.
have land travel, we have sea travel, we need air travel.
I have
Do you
fly.
have anything that would make it easier to
Permanent air
get
travel.
the horses off the boat when there's not a dock?
We could try.
Really big mage hand.
We could go talk to Ellen and try to
Um,
get help from her bird.
Yeah,
I'd
we
like
can
one
shrink
of
them
those,
down and
please.
put them in our pockets.
Ooh.
Or-
Ooh. Some scroll of summon bird, because you know what bird can lift a horse?
How about scroll of
Alaska?
summon bigger fish?
A crane.
Ah, ha, 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 ha.
You lose inspiration. Okay. Let's just raise dead.
Well, it's 11 o'clock. Why don't you
I
find
know.
a couple things that are options
All
for
right. So here,
put them in
go ahead
Discord.
and get a list together. We need a fun shield, a stealthy gem, Is there anything you were looking for, Jen? Oh, things to give cat.
I mean, I would also like other items that would be useful to Schmendrick.
Are you looking for wands? Are you looking for? Are you looking for items? Are you looking for gems? What are you?
I don't know. Anything that would be useful for Schmendrick.
Just keep it.
Cedric would like
He
stuff.
would like all the things.
Schmendrick's
like to be
Christmas
able
list
to-
is so long.
Is there a bag of holding?
Is there a stone of controlled wild magic?
Is there a bag of holding kittens?
He doesn't want to control his wild magic.
Is there a bag of kittens, Dan?
Well, actually, he does want
Bag of
to.
kittens!
Bag of kittens!
But all of you know that you are in the Shimmer, and the bag of kittens would potentially be deadly weapon, because you don't know what type of kittens there are. You've only met like 3 since you've been here, and one of them almost killed you.
I am okay with that.
Raise your hand if you're willing to take the risk.
But
And
would
I'm
you
pretty
really-
sure Schmendrick would as well.
What do I want? I'm
Would
sorry, I
you
was
be
letting
willing
the
to
cat
take
in.
the risk?
I want a bag
you
of
really-
kittens.
So yes,
Dan's like, you never know what happened with the bag of kittens. We don't care, Dan.
We don't care.
But would you be
That
willing
is
to take the
not
risk of
something
the
that
kitten
interests
souls
us.
being trapped in the shimmer?
All right. So.
Aw, kitty souls. Do cats have souls?
Yes.
Yeah.
9 of them.
Dogs don't.
They're
but-
bastard souls,
Do the
but they're
orange
souls.
ones have souls?
Yeah.
First of all, that's racist, and also, yes.
Soulless ginger cats.
My beau has a soul.
Well, he's special.
Callie, you monster.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Also, gingers have souls. I know.
All right. I will throw together some other
Just
Jemmy
post the whole list and then we'll.
a list of shenanigans.
It doesn't have to be stealth specifically, but anything rogue-like that as a stone I can use in my my amulet would be nice.
Stone of double sneak attack.
Double
That sounds
sneak attack.
Sneak.
fair and balanced.
Yes.
What about a stone of returning your blade to you? So, like,
Ooh.
So you can throw it.
have throwing daggers and they come back.
Oh yeah, there's definitely that. That's not.
Or like the one
Usually
in,
you set it into a dagger.
like the one in Critical Role. I think Whisper was the name of his dagger.
Yeah,
but he would
basically his
throw
blink
it,
arrow
and then you could
gem
cut, it would-
is
The reverse.
basically Whisper.
Yeah.
But could you set it in a great sword?
I mean, you could, but there's a very large chance that it'll be dealing damage like an improvised weapon. So it's just like, this would do 2d6. I'm going to throw it at you, and it'll likely do 1d4. Booyah!
I would like an item that basically makes me Toph Beifong.
You want to what now?
Yes, we have it. It's called
only-
a knife. We'll just stab you directly in the eyes.
Oh, that got dark quick. Okay. What were I had a whole? I was just saw them. NPC. Oh yeah. These are some silly scrolls I had made for our game. That I forgot to include. Divine Scroll of Ice Axe. Divine Scroll of Sticks to Snakes.
That sounds amazing.
You have to be a really old D&D player to remember that one. Let's just shrink. Here we go, Randy. The Divine Scroll of Frost Mammoth.
A frost mammoth?
Yes.
It's a weird magic shop. But I'm not surprised. I will activate my belt to find the nearest booze.
You
If
do
we're-
find the nearest tavern, and
If we're getting scrolls of very old D&D spells, do you have spikes? Can we get spikes in
No.
5e? Is that fair?
Spiked armor?
No,
I
spikes.
know,
What's
just
spikes?
spikes.
Spikes is the spell that makes a nature cleric outdamage a fighter in melee combat.
Oh god.
Because they just have spikes everywhere.
Because suddenly
just run.
you have a stick, like you hold up your simple wooden stick, and then you hit someone with your wooden stick, and it also deals piercing damage equal to your level.
I like it.
It's like
So, like,
basically Super Shillelagh.
What's the ultimate
people who-
3.5 melee build? Well, it's a cleric with a stick.
Yeah, sounds about right.
A friend of mine used to play the Lord of the Rings miniatures game, whatever they called it. And he was like, they tried to make it really, really true to the books. Too true. So actually, the most damage that you can do is being Aragorn holding a log.
Okay.
Well, no, because the logs are usually used by treants and whatnot, and so they do a lot of damage. And they're used for battering rams, but because of the way that they wrote things, anyone over a certain amount of strength
Could carry one.
can carry one, and so Aragorn with a tree. I'm sure the people riding it were just like, obviously Aragorn is going to use a very, very specific sword after reforging it, or they're playing the game wrong. And all the min-maxers are like,
Free.
I like how when they first introduced the Ranger in OD&D,
Mm-hmm.
it was just Aragorn. They just made Aragorn.
Yeah.
Basically, every edition since then, they've taken out Aragorn and added in something else.
Something else random.
Taking a little bit more Aragorn out to add in something different.
So, do we have any of Aragorn left at this point?
Goodberry. Which is based on one of the original Ranger spells where you find some herbs and you turn them into healing.
Okay.
It's the last vestige of Aragorn.
It's Goodberry.
There's nothing else left. He's just that far gone.
Like, you used to get a damage bonus against basically all non-humanoid... Everybody that's not a human, an elf, or a dwarf, you'd get a damage bonus against them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was... It wasn't like you weren't... They actually called it a ranger instead of an Aragorn. That's basically the only difference. Or a strider. They could have called it a strider.
And you were strength based, and it was one of the hardest classes in the game to actually get to play because stat rolling was very different back then, and you had to have high stats to be a ranger.
Yeah.
And they were hilariously overpowered. And there was actually an official rule that only 2 rangers in a party allowed at a given time. And one of the most overpowered things about them was the fact that they got a stronghold minion starting at level 8. Because a lot of your power in the first few editions of Dungeons and Dragons were based on how many people you had working for you.
Wow.
Oh, those were the days. That
I remember
avoided.
reading someone back in the 3.5 days, they tried to figure out if you could actually throw someone to the moon. Like with
with 3.5? Probably.
Well, yeah, and it was like
Probably.
stacking like a couple of feats to be able to like throw things extremely long distances and like target. Like essentially, they're like, yeah, you can do it if you stack these feats. I always wanted to play a Warhulk.
Throw everything.
Oh yeah, Warhulk hulking hurler and just build that up because it's like if they hadn't put the max damage dice limits in 3.5, essentially you could roll like thousands of d6 damage.
All the d6s.
Yeah, because
All right.
of the like essentially it was you'd have like 70 strength, so you could, and you were a large size creature, so you could essentially rip up mountains. And then the way that damage was
One does.
yeah. And then, like, damage for an improvised weapon at that point is, like, based on weight. And if you're throwing around tons, it just scales astronomically. It'd be like, you need to roll 35,000 d6.
I like it.
Yes. But then...
This was, of course, before there were active dice rollers that were easily available.
Yes.
This does remind me of...
Let me go get my bin.
This does remind me of rolling a little more reasonable, rolling for Sound Blaster Bards and Pathfinder originally, the first way they worded it, where you ended up needing to roll 50 dice rolls to resolve the ability.
Noise.
That's extreme.
All right. For the people who are incredibly bored on our stream, this is the end of our beach day episode, which is both not a day, nor does it contain a beach. I'm sorry that you had to watch us reminisce and go shopping because my players decided to skirt 2 of my encounters. But it's okay. It's fine. They do it all the time.
All he did was
I'm not
walk in
bitter.
a straight line.
We
But it's fine.
only
They-
killed
they-
half the bunnies, and we did not start stabbing trees.
Yeah.
Also,
you
we
didn't
didn't
go after the-
continually follow that one guy.
You really wanted us to stab trees.
And all
No,
we
I
did-
was just trying to figure it out because I'm like, are these people stabbing trees or are they not stabbing trees? I have to be very, very specific because there's a lot of trees.
And then we annoyed the Shadar-kai until they ran away.
Yeah,
And then
And
we
then kept
continued
annoying
annoying the
them.
Shadar-kai as they were running away.
I'm going to write down notes. You stupid owl. Get out of my face.
It's like, I'm super stealthy. What you doing, buddy?
Hi, hello there.
Excuse me.
Not a sneak attack. Not even taking them a little bit seriously. How's your sneaking going?
So, what you doing? All right.
Peers over shoulder. You misspelled that word.
Okay.
All right.
I found the thread that I've been looking at, and apparently you can cheese the Warhawk hulking hurler to
Oh, you can cheese it.
What? You can cheese something
No,
in 3.5?
19 octillion d6 damage.
Oh my god.
Well, that explains why those engineers stopped producing Google Wave. We now know what they were doing.
I think my official